There we go.
Now you got it, right?
I got it. That's me. Woohoo! Blackhawk.
Live from Kentucky and Louisiana. Two Marines, one mission. This is Sense and Senseless. From the hills to the bayou, stories collide. Brothers in arms, now we're side by side. Sense and senseless, we cut through the noise. Two Southern Marines with that rebel voice. Grab a seat, pour a drink, let's make some sense. Or none at all, it just depends. Sense and senseless.
Welcome back to Sense and Senseless. I'm Brian,
I'm Jason.
and he's Jason. All right. Tonight we're going to take in a no-holds-barred deep dive into the ways modern life is quietly pulling us apart and putting power in the wrong hands. We'll also touch on a broader pattern of elite impunity, from lack of real accountability in high-profile cases like Epstein to the class divide that makes everyday working-class people seem they're disposable peasants to those in power. It's all tied together by distrust in institutions and an urgent call to rebuild trust in our communities instead. Jason, you got anything before I start flapping my gums about this shit?
No, just can we not piss me off first video? But anyways, go ahead. Start
All right, so
flapping.
first off, I want to address something that came out last week. SNL did a skit on Tom Holman and ICE, and I'm not going to play the full clip. I don't know if you've seen any of this, Jason. We'll run it and catch up. I just wanted you to check it out and see if you see what I see in this thing.
Let's talk about use of force. When do we want to use force?
Right away?
No, think of the opposite.
Right. Preemptively.
Also, no. It's kind of a trick question because we actually don't want to use force. Remember, the job ultimately is about keeping America safe from what?
This could be wrong, but Don Lemon?
That is wrong. Yes, it's criminals.
Teacher?
Not a teacher. Go ahead.
Some of these people protesting have guns? That shouldn't be allowed, right?
Well, let's flip it around, right? How many of you went to a Stop the Steal protest with a loaded automatic weapon? Fellas, look, you got to do better. Look, I'm Tom Homan, okay? I am. I'm the separating families at the border guy. I'm the on-film taking a $50,000 bribe guy, and y'all are making me look like the upstanding, reasonable adult in the room. That's crazy. Now, all right. Let's open it up to some questions. Yes, you.
I have a question about the local police.
That's great. I was hoping someone would bring this up because there's been, some friction there. What's your question about the local police?
How come I wasn't allowed to be in them?
I'm not sure. Yes, you.
Yes. So I have a question about destroying evidence.
Yeah, let me stop you right there. You should never destroy evidence.
Got it.
Don't wink. Don't wink. Now, who else has a question? Yes, you.
Yeah, how come all the fast food in this city tastes like spit?
It's best not to really think about that, All right, one more question.
I just heard that I'm being detailed to the Super Bowl, but I'm looking in my ticket app and I don't see a ticket.
Right, so you won't actually have a seat.
So we're playing in it? Like what?
Guys, no. Let's recap.
All right, that's enough. So, what do you think about the SNL skit? What do you take away from that?
Dude, hey, a lot of the stuff they do, even if I don't agree with the narrative, it's funny. I didn't think that was funny. I mean, because I guess they were making Tom Holman look like he was trying to, like, guys, y'all got to stop doing this. And like, I told him to be different. I didn't, like, he said, he winked when he said destroying evidence, and he goes, don't wink. Like, he was telling him, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Like, didn't you take, I don't know. It was weird to me.
And
I
see,
mean, it
I
was
see it.
making them look like a bunch of ill-trained or bad trained agents. Like, they just picked them up. They weren't even cut out to be on their own public police force, like the
And
rejects.
and that's what I think. Again, these people just think we're stupid, right?
Mhm.
And this portrays who we are. Think about who those people are, the ICE agents.
Mhm.
They're everyday Americans that working for ICE. And I don't know any of them, but I really doubt that there's some elite level people that are working on the streets for ICE. They're more than likely middle class people like we are.
You want to know what's
And they
something that's funny is my buddy over in Ohio that I used to Xbox with a lot. I hadn't got with him in a while, but anyways, his brother is a ICE agent. He works for ICE over in DC, and he's a flaming Democrat, dude, a flaming liberal. He's not gay. I'm not saying he's gay. He's just very liberal, but he
but
works
is
for
he
ICE.
but is he stupid?
No, he's very intelligent. I mean,
And that's what I'm saying. That they're trying to make it look like, in my mind, when you watch that video, everyone that Tom Holman's talking to has a stupid response. I mean, a very
yes.
blatantly stupid. It wasn't like funny stupid. It was just
Yeah.
stupid.
Like they were up in the mountains of West Virginia.
Oh yeah,
people.
just somewhere. And those people, in my mind, represent people like you and me, because just like you said, a guy that you were friends with's brother is part of ICE. That's the people that's going to do that work. Working
Yeah.
class people. You know what I'm
Right.
getting at? So
Yes.
when
And
they
like I
write
said,
shit like that,
he's a heavy liberal, Brian.
I get that, but
He's
that's
not a
my whole point.
Republican. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. They're made up of both people, everyday people.
Well,
They're not retarded.
that even says it even better, because I've been trying to say they hate all of us.
Yeah.
All of us at this level, they think we're idiots, and I'm this just reinforces it. And I think once you start seeing stuff like this,
Right.
and you start seeing how they talk to you, on the news and what they say on certain things, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, you'll start picking up on things and being like, man, why they got to talk to me like that? I'm not a fucking idiot. You know,
Mhm.
it doesn't make any, why are you portraying? I mean, I know they were trying to make fun in light of ICE. I get that. I'm not butthurt about that by no means. But my whole point is they think that's funny in the realm that it's going to be funny to everyone else. And whether you support ICE or not, majority of the people in this country are the same as those people.
Right.
When you're looking at, where you are in the working society. That's not millionaire people right there. That's not elite people that's in, hundreds of $1,000,000, $1 billion. That's working class people out there doing a job.
Right.
And they make them look like idiots. And that's you. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah. One of the funny ones I watched was the one where Dave Chappelle showed up to them white people's house to watch the election. It was when Trump won the first time.
Uh-huh. I didn't
And
see
then,
that. That's on SNL.
oh, dude, yeah, it was SNL, and that one was kind of making fun of both. It was making fun of both sides, but it was funny. I mean, it was funny, and I've seen them do parodies of Trump and all that, and they're hilarious.
They are. I've seen
Shane
one not
Gillis,
long ago.
Shane Gillis does a good Trump, right? That one comedian, he does, and that's funny. But
And I have no problem. I guess this is more my point. I have no problems with SNL making fun of politicians. I don't give a shit what politician it is, or
yeah,
celebrities and stuff like that. When you start making fun of the rank and file, that's when I start having a problem, because these are just
yeah,
everyday Americans.
it is.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, and they're putting they've had a couple mistakes, but they're putting their life on the line out there too, just like any police officer, FBI agent, U.S. Marshal, military. I mean, it's the same thing, man. People dealing with bad people.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there making fun of them and acting like they're a bunch of idiots. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, if one of them idiots called 911, if I was a cop, I'd show up and be like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't know what to do for you,"
Exactly.
and I would just drive off and be like, I was sorry, I was too stupid to help you. Remember your little skit? Help yourself."
And the
Whatever.
problem though is as a good person, which majority of the people are,
They won't
they
do it.
would they still would do their job and take care of
Yeah.
that person.
Mhm.
And this is just proves how out of touch the Hollywood elite are with us and what they actually think of us, you know, and in their eyes, and I'm gonna explain all this to you in a second. In their eyes, they think we're all white trash or whatever color trash you want to be. You know, it's just they think nothing of you. And I'm gonna explain this to you real quick.
Mhm.
So the other night I was talking to Jen and I was explaining to her how we're just white trash. And she mentioned how there's people that we know that will never accept the fact that we're white trash.
Mhm.
And so I mentioned to her that they just don't understand how they're perceived by the upper class because in your social circle, you made it, right? So you're the highest of the level in your social circle, so you don't feel like you're trash. And I get that.
Mm.
And when they
Mhm.
look around compared to everyone else, they're doing great, you know, because
Right.
they're the top of the white trash, right? And you associate with what you see every day.
Mhm.
Let me know if you don't follow me, okay?
Mhm.
And this is the same all the way up the in the socioeconomic chain, right? Is
Mhm.
what they see every day is how they associate their life. And they're not seeing us every day. You know, they're seeing people in suits. They're seeing people, you know, that they think made it and they feel like they made it. However, in reality, at every level of the economic societies, the lower level is the trash of the level above them.
Mhm.
Meaning you may think of a homeless person or someone that's on, you know, that lives off the system as in the lower society, but the class above you is going to think the same thing about you that you think of someone else. And this will
Right.
continue all the way up the chain. Meaning the more space between you and the people above you,
Mhm.
the more they will disassociate with you. And also you will be lumped into the same class society as the ones that you think are below you by the upper economic societies because they don't see you any different. They see us all the same.
Right.
You know, everyone that's below them is the same.
Right.
And the people in the upper class, this is what I want you to take away from this. And I'm gonna go on a little further, but the people in upper class want to rub elbows with you as much as you want to rub elbows with homeless people. And this is why the elites can't understand what we need or how we live.
Right.
You know, they know no more about your lifestyle than we know about a homeless person's lifestyle. And yes,
Right.
we can assume that a homeless person has a hard life, but we have no idea how hard their life is unless we lived it. We can't
Right.
understand what struggles they see every day. Yet we're closer to being homeless than we are to being in the elite circle.
Mm.
So if you use this thought process, when you get all the way up to the elites, when they're looking down on you from their ivory towers, I mean, they see us as nothing. You know, they
Mhm.
can't fathom how you live. You're basically a peasant of their world. Your
Yeah.
only worth is the small value you may bring to a company. When you can no
Mhm.
longer bring that value, you have no worth in their eyes.
Right.
And we're all expendable to the elites, and they have no
Well,
problem saying it, even if indirectly. So,
that
what do you think they're talking about when they say, you know, we must defend democracy, which is, of course, secret code for defending their power? They know if they make you feel like you're part of something bigger, you will lay down your life to protect it, but they're not willing to do the same.
right.
You know, I would be willing to believe, honestly, that this is a running joke amongst the elites. The joke being that working man is so loyal to a fault that we'll do anything for the greater good of our country. Even when the leaders to this country are constantly stealing from you to enrich themselves, we're still going to do whatever we can to make this country better. And all they have to tell you is, you know, whatever they want, whatever they're trying to move forward, just tell you it's for the greater good of the country. And if you support this, we'll all come out better. And of course, if you don't support it, they're going to call you a Nazi. You know, you're not American, and they're going to
Mhm.
publicly shame you into submission. And the sad part is they're going to convince your neighbors and your peers to do the shaming. So it really stings.
Right.
These people are fucking evil and out of touch with, you know, all Americans.
Mhm.
And they have no idea what you need in life or what your quality of life is like. they can only assume, as you can only assume the quality of life of a homeless person. Hell, even if these people care about your quality of life at all, they probably don't ever even think about quality of life you have. And this is why I'm constantly saying that these elites are out of touch with the American people.
Mhm.
I tell you this in hopes that this will allow you to pause when you hear speeches from the elites. And maybe you'll question their motives. And I'm referring to the current administration as well. And
Mhm.
I don't care how much you love Trump. I'm a big Trump supporter. I'm a big MAGA supporter. This administration is no different from previous ones, other than the
Right.
fact that they might be doing something right now that you like. And therefore, you support them, which you should support the politicians that are doing what you think is right. I agree with that. However, this doesn't mean you're privileged to everything that's going on. I mean,
That's
think of
right.
this in a smaller scale. And I would assume most of you work for a company. And how many people in your company or office are disgruntled, no matter what? You got someone there that's going to disagree with everything or simply not do the job they were hired to do. And I would
Mhm.
bet everyone knows someone that fits this example.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
look at how many people work for the federal government. A little over 3 million, if you didn't know. Now, tell me everything that the president beats his chest over gets fucking done.
Nope.
These federal workers only have to hold on for 4 to 8 years, and then another president comes in.
That's
This
right.
is why you can't put so much into politicians and presidents. Most of them are doing this for themselves. And even if they're doing what's right for their constituents, the bureaucracy is going to decide, most of the outcomes.
Right.
You're you have to remember this. Your people are your policy, meaning you can have the best ideas in the world and the best intentions, but if the people that are there to carry them out aren't performing their jobs at the level you need them to, then
Right.
your policy would be less than you intended. I mean, it's no different from how it works where you're currently employed. And if I learned one thing, it is you can't trust the government. We need to get back to trusting our neighbors more and the government less, and then maybe we'll see a change that we all want. Think about that, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at stuff, especially with like companies and things like that, I mean, we all have employee ID numbers, correct?
Yep.
We're not always known by our name. We're known by a number. We've actually got two. We got a PeopleSoft number, a pay ID, and then we got an employee ID. Uh,
We have 2
which
numbers also.
and same thing with your social security number. When people start putting numbers on you, then that's what you are. You're a number. Now, I like to think my company does care. I've seen them do stuff like where we had that big tornado that went through Mayfield and Dawson Springs and all that stuff, and we had a couple employees that were affected by that, and they actually put those employees in a hotel for and paid
Good.
for it. We had a employee that had a creek behind his house get in, raise up from a real bad downpour and got into his house, and the company put him in a hotel and paid for it. They do stuff like that. But I think what they also do, Brian, because every company is guilty of doing this, I think they looked at the military. How do you get these guys in the military to do what they do, to join hands and work as a team and to conquer no matter what the thing is? And it's that trust thing and the building a family, right? Where you build try to make it a family environment. And when you look at your coworker as a family member, as a brother or whatever, you work your butt off, not for the company, you're doing it for the guy next to you, right? And I think companies have learned that, because if we pitted these guys against one another and just had them work their butts off for us, they're not going to do that unless we pay like real. Yeah, I got guys that burn the overtime up because the money's good. But if the money wasn't like that, they wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell them. I'm not going to put you in for this prestigious award. You're not doing that. You're not working 7 days a week this week because of the company. You're working it because you need the money. I mean, let's just be honest. So that doesn't constitute about going above and beyond. That's for your own wants and needs. So they did it in high school. I don't know if you remember this in school. But junior high and high school, they segregated us from level 1, 2, and 3. 3 was the smart kids. 2 was the medium smart kids, and 1s were the ones that struggled. And they used
I
to
didn't go to school much, so I'm assuming that I might have missed those days.
Okay, well, they don't do that anymore, but they did have that, Brian, where they segregated us that way anyways. They caused division, and a lot of your smart kids were the upper class kids, the kids whose mom and dad had more money and all that. The ones in level 1, a lot of them were the ones that didn't have it good at home and all that. They were the ones, the trailer park kids. If that's what, there was stigmatisms put on people when we were growing up. And I feel like now when you brought up that Carnegie thing and these elite families took over the school or designed the school curriculum and all that stuff to create dumb factory workers, man, that hit me like after we did that segment, I'm like, holy cow. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. And that's all they did. I mean, my grandpa, my dad, me, we're all workers. I mean, we're workaholics. And I think it's a work ethic. And I told you last week on our podcast, me coming home from picking that dude up, had a lot of time to think. And I'm like, this new generation, I thought they didn't have a work ethic. No, I'm the dumb one. They're the smart one because they call in. When they're sick and tired of breaking their back, they'll burn a sick day. They don't care because they're not going to be a slave to the machine. I'm the one that's being the slave. I'm the one showing up to work every day, no matter if I'm sore, I'm stressed out. Like people are taking mental health days now. That's what they call it. I need a mental health day. My mind's not right.
I need some of them.
I mean, dude, yeah, I've got 540 hours worth of that I need, but I don't do it. But they're the smart ones. I'm the dumb one. I'm the one that's slave to my job. They ain't. But go ahead.
All right, so I'm actually this then. So let's look at the gap between the elites and us. Did that make sense to you?
Yeah, we're closer to the homeless than we are the elites. Yes, definitely.
And my whole point about all that is what makes it sad is we have neighbors that we won't speak to because they might be flying a different flag than you are, or they might have voted for somebody you didn't vote for. And we're not talking to these people because we have more loyalty than these fucking people that would piss on you.
Mm-hmm.
They have no fucking respect for you, and you will not talk to your neighbors because of how they voted.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get away from that. We have to get away from that. And I don't know how else to explain that to people is we're not that far apart. You're not as close to these people that are brainwashing you and into whatever you think. You're not that close to those people. You might think you are because you consumed with whatever the fuck they're saying, or you might be stuck in that algorithm, but you're not that close to those people. So you need to come back to reality. We all broke. We all poor. We all trash. It doesn't matter what fucking color you are.
Yeah.
We all the same amount of trash in their fucking eyes.
That's right.
And the poor people that they sitting on those streets to fight ICE and stuff like that. You're giving up yourself for people that they won't do fucking thing for you. They could easily go out there and do the exact same things that you're doing, but they're not out there doing it. Why? Because they don't want to. They want you to fucking do it because they don't respect you.
They're above that.
It's fucked up.
I mean, Brian, I'm not going to let anybody put a campaign sign in my yard. I've had one in my yard before, and that was a buddy of mine that ran for an office here, local office, and I let him put it in there. But no more. I'm not letting anybody because I love what Gene Simmons said in that when somebody stopped him and asked him and kept asking him, who did you vote for?
Yeah.
And he said, man, there was a time you didn't ask that. And he said, I'm not answering it. That's private. What's it matter?
Yeah. And he said, you go in that voting booth and you close that curtain. He said,
you do your thing and you come out and it's nobody's damn business. And the world was a better place when everybody understood that.
Yep.
But Brian, we advertise it now by the crap we put in our yards and the signs we put up on our houses and the flags we fly and all that. It's nobody's day. Stop letting people in on your business. I'm gonna
This
tell
is
you
the-
right now,
The
like
bigger problem I see is, and I know I'm like this, but so I fly an American flag in my front yard. But when you fly
Yeah.
an American flag, people won't think you racist. How the
Yeah.
fuck am I racist for flying
For
an
su-
American flag? That is
yeah,
some
for
of the
supporting this
dumbest
country.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. You
God damn.
Well, Brian, when you came out white, dude, you were racist. Okay,
Yeah, you're right.
you just need to accept that.
Well-
You were in the womb choosing colors, and you chose the wrong color. Good for you. Way to go, Brian. Way to mess that
Well,
up.
we're gonna get moving on. We're gonna go back
Okay.
to the old deporter in chief, the old OG of deportations. And you mentioned him many times on how many people he deported, but I got a little short the little short portion of his speech that of how much he enjoyed immigration. Let's check this fucker out.
Look, you've broken the law. You didn't come here the way you were supposed to. So this is not going to be a free ride. What's going to happen is you are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally. I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration. But they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border without any kind of mechanism.
Can't have that.
No.
You know, we're gonna fight ICE now, but
Yeah.
back in the gap, couldn't have that.
No, that's hilarious.
And he
I
wasn't
think
the
I-
only one. Hold on.
No, I'm Hillary.
Yeah, watch. Hold on a second. We're gonna
Bill,
play
yeah.
that one real quick, and we're gonna discuss this shit. I forgot I had this one on.
We will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes.
Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked.
Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws. And I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous.
They hate Trump, dude.
Dangerous. I don't know what you're doing, but you just went to full screen, and I'm a little corner piece now.
It don't matter. That's just the image. I don't know exactly what's the preview's got going on either.
But I can't see my beautiful face, man. I'm up
But
in
I
the
can't
corner.
see any of it. My
Nobody
whole
puts
screen's
baby in
black.
the corner, damn it, Brian.
Well, I don't know what
Nobody-
I did because I don't.
You done
I
messed
must have hit
stuff up,
layout or
man.
something.
I know.
Hold on. What happened?
Gonna pull it out, ain't you?
Got to whip it out.
You're gonna whip that media out.
I whip my media out.
He nicknames it media.
That's right. That's right.
But
All right, so that was
Don't-
all the fucking the big Democrat saying immigration's good.
yeah, no, there's deportation's good.
Well, that's what I meant. Deportation, the immigration. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
there's rules and
Deportation.
laws, and if you don't follow it, you're getting deported. And I mean, it's just crazy. TikTok's full of them, and it's not AI generated because I remember watching those speeches live when they are on the news when they were giving them, and AI wasn't around then, or it wasn't in the capacity it is now. It may have been AI may have been out there for a while, and maybe we were getting shown stuff, but the media was not going to lie about what Obama said and what Hillary said and what Bill Clinton said. They weren't going to lie. They were always taking their side on shit. So don't even play that narrative that somebody doctored that. But the TikTok videos I was telling you that I sent you, one of them was this dude goes to this woman's house and is getting her to sign to bring these people back, and then says, "Do you support them living in America?" And she said, "Yeah." So he pulls a bus up and they start getting off the bus, and she goes, "Great. Or so they can live with you?" And she's like, no, I don't have room." And yeah, but you said you support them and blah, blah, blah. Like you said, the Martha Vineyard thing. It's all fun and games till they bring them to your neighborhood, and then all of a sudden, hold up now, wait a minute, nope. That's
they
the mentality.
Well, that proves the point of what I said in my monologue opening up. They don't want to rub elbows with those people.
No.
They want to sit there and they want to say all this shit and they're going to take care of them and all this stuff, but they want that in your neighborhood. They don't want that in their neighborhood because they're above that.
this is 100% true, not 99. It's 100% true. During Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, any deportation, any ICE going and grabbing people and slinging them up and getting them out of here, there was zero riots and zero protests.
Well, now I think the bigger
So-
thing is everybody has phones now, so it makes it look worse no matter how you do it, and everybody's going to be a savior of something. And
Right.
don't get me wrong, I really thought they already had body cameras. Whenever they had that shooting, I was waiting to see the body camera footage. But evidently, Border Patrol and ICE they don't have body cameras until now. Now they're saying they're all gonna have to wear body cameras. But honestly, I thought they already had body cameras.
Hold up. They had it on Renee Good.
Body cameras?
Yeah. They showed the body camera footage of the Renee Good thing of both
Okay.
officers.
I just remember one of them had a video, his phone out recording.
I'm raising my hand here. I'll be the first to admit that when it doesn't go quite the way, you're probably not going to see that footage, Brian. I'm just saying. I guarantee the government doesn't release it. We both admitted that we seen all kinds of problems with the video we seen that ICE was not in. ICE messed up on that. They did.
Oh yeah, on that one, yeah, they definitely did. And it really looked bad, and that going to bring a lot of heat to ICE. But I
Yes.
also, with the Border Patrol guy out there that looked like the Nazi, I'm gonna play a video. I don't know how this thing get more traction when you watch it and you see how this guy talks to people. I can only imagine what he's like behind closed doors. And I'm not trying to be an ass to Border Patrol, but this guy just seems like a fucking creep to me.
Is it the one that looks like a Nazi?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh,
Arrest as
Yep.
many people that touch you as you want to. Those are the general orders all the way to the top. Everybody fucking gets it if they touch you. You hear what I'm saying? Less legals. We're going to look at shipping tractor trailer loads of that shit in here. So you catch what it's all about us now. It ain't about them. Professional, legal, ethical, moral. You know what we're talking about. Legal, ethical, moral. You're on camera. But other than that, it's what we do. What city is it, Chief? Fucking ours is our fucking city.
This city.
No, it ain't.
That's what the man said. I mean, don't that just sound like an asshole? Can you imagine what
Yeah,
that's
it
like
does.
behind closed doors?
We've had people like that put in management positions and stuff like that in my industry I've worked in throughout the years. And it's
I agree
just
with
people but we've seen it in the military. I'll call the dude out. I'm just going to say it right now, Sergeant King. I don't know if that dude will ever listen to this or see this, and I don't care. I mean, still to this day, I'm going to sit there and say he didn't deserve the 3 stripes up and the cross rifles. He didn't. He wasn't a good leader.
No, he wasn't.
Because he hid behind that. He hid behind his rank, and that's what they gave that dude some clout. And look what he's got, that damn flat top, freaking skin, that high and tight flat top. And you remember back in the day, if you ever seen a dude show up like that, they were going to try to be a dick. They were going to be a dick, dude.
Straight up asshole.
Yes, that's the asshole haircut in the military, is it not?
But that guy makes all of those other guys look bad.
Oh, he does.
And that's sad because, I mean, he's the leader, and being on camera like that and somebody releasing that, I mean, makes all those other guys that's doing their job look bad.
Mhm.
And so now my thought, and I'm sure a lot of people's thought are, everyone working for him probably has the same mindset because that's what normally happens.
Yeah.
And it's sad to have that, come out because these guys are doing a tough job. They don't have to have people like this leading them. And maybe they do. Maybe I'm out of, speaking out of turn. It looks fucking bad as hell though. This is not the Marine Corps. You're not asking these guys to go out there and, fucking kick in doors and shit and just
No.
shoot son of a bitches. No.
Yeah, they're not in Fallujah trying to rid out terrorists.
Yeah, and it's not your town.
No, it's not.
Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp didn't even want to get involved with shit, dude. When he went to Tombstone, he didn't want to get involved. His brothers are the ones that.
But once he got involved, that motherfucker was kicking ass.
Yeah, he was.
Names.
I mean, yeah.
But
they
shit
showed
like
that one. Dude, they showed the one video of him walking the streets with them guys wearing that trench coat, and it looked just like a damn Nazi uniform trench coat from World War II.
And he makes them all look bad.
Yeah, and I think he was going for that look. I think he don't care. Like, say something. Say something.
I think he's the reason Tom Holman had to go over there, because he had all those guys, probably. I can understand they all frustrated, but the leader can't be like that. The leader needs to keep them in check. The other guys, I can see them losing their cool. I'm not agreeing with it, but I can understand it. But that guy has to keep them in check.
You want to take the breath out of these people that are, well, don't shoot them. That don't take the breath out of them too. But Tom Holman he needs to get rid of that dude. Agree? And
Yeah,
Trump
I don't know
needs
if
to
he
push
works
it.
for. Yeah, I don't know if he works for Tom Holman, but yeah, something needs to be done with that guy, because that guy right there is he's a PR nightmare for one, and you can see that. I can only about imagine what he tells these guys behind closed doors.
Oh, look what he tells them on tape.
Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. So yeah, you got to watch that. And I don't know if you saw, but they pulled 700 agents out of Minneapolis. I don't know if they're going to be pulling more. I got Tom Holman.
Yeah, I see where Tom said they're going to tone it down over there.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the Democrats are getting a little bit of a win. So let's check this out.
And as a result of the need for less law enforcement officers to do this work in a safer environment, I have announced effective immediately, we will draw down 700 people effective today. 700 law enforcement personnel. We have also fully integrated CBP personnel into the ICRO team structure under one unified chain of command. Not two chains of command, there'd be one chain of command here. Any large enforcement operation I've ever been involved with, there's one chain of command, and that's where we're moving forward. During my press conference last week, I announced that moving forward, ICE will be conducting targeted immigration enforcement operations, like ICE has traditionally done for decades, based on reasonable suspicion to question and detain. ICE will conduct these operations and transnational criminal organization investigations with a focus on national security and public safety. I want to be clear. Just because you prioritize public safety threats don't mean we forget about everybody else. We will continue to enforce the immigration laws in this country. To help execute this, we have developed and implemented a multi-agency surge task force with an operational framework that clarifies lines of effort, integrated enforcement, investigative and special response efforts. A unified joint operations center has been established to manage all operations and ensure efforts align with priorities of the mission. This reorganization also enables ICE to leverage joint intelligence capabilities to effectively target threats, as well as to reduce the overall personnel footprint and enhance public safety and confidence in the agency's capabilities and presence here. I've also ensured that officials from legal internal affairs offices remain on the ground as long as this operation continues.
Yeah, he's going to need legal and internal affairs there for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's a good dude. I think he's very professional.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know he made that comment to that Connecticut or Rhode Island dude or whatever. Like, I'm bringing hell with me.
Blunt and honest,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like, don't test me, people. I mean, this is federal. You need to understand the bureaucracy and the where you stand.
But there's a complete difference the way he presents himself and speaks,
and
that
other
dude,
Mr. Asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Holman, you might not like him, but he is very professional. He knows what he wants to get done, and it's all, this is what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom.
I could follow him. I mean, he would be tough, but I think he'd be fair and he would be a good, you know what you're getting. You know who you're following. That other dude, that dude's going to lead you right into a damn wall of bad and doesn't care. He'll go out in a blaze of glory and take everybody down with him.
Yep. Now,
just to look good.
Here's what I don't remember. I didn't write down exactly what news this was, but it was one of the mainstream media was showing a clip of how ICE is treating people filming shit. So I want to play that just so you can see it.
There are now numerous videos on social media showing hostile interactions between ICE and members of the public where the agents seem to object to being filmed, at times grabbing phones or physically confronting people recording, even though filming law enforcement in public is protected under the First Amendment. Obviously, it can't cross the line into interference, although that line isn't always clear. But all of this is raising serious questions about ICE's use of force and training in these situations. I want to show a series of short cell phone video clips, and we should note it's not clear what happened before or after these recordings, and we did reach out to DHS to comment on each clip. Let's start with this video from Minneapolis. It shows a man filming with his phone as he appears to intentionally stand in front of an ICE vehicle, which obviously he shouldn't be doing. But take a look at how the ICE agent here reacts. Was it appropriate for the ICE agent to push that man onto the ground in the middle of the street into oncoming traffic? You see a city bus having to come to a quick stop to avoid running the man over. DHS did not respond to CNN's request for commenting on this incident. Then there's this clip from St. Louis.
All right, so I'm gonna pause there and let you talk on that one before I show you the next one.
You don't stand in front of a law enforcement office or car, vehicle, whatever it is, that's impeding with them doing their job. So you don't just stand there. I mean, what do we do? Do we shove the guy out of the way? And he falls to the ground, or we just run him over? Which you got, option A or option B, Brian? Which one do you pick? We've already talked. You're not gonna reason with them, right? We've already said that before. People that are showing up to that stuff, doing that, you're not going to reason with them. So do you think the guy going up and saying, "Hey, sir, excuse me, if you don't mind, you can keep filming. That's your First Amendment right." He wasn't getting pushed because he was filming. He got pushed because he's blocking their car.
I agree with that. How does it look?
It looks brutal. It looks a little bullying and all that stuff, like barbaric, but you're not showing everything else. That's the problem. Not everybody's seeing full coverage of what's going on over there and saying, okay, yeah, I'd probably be the same way. I'd be sick and tired of this.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to play the next one, okay?
Then there's this clip from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. That's a suburb just west of Minneapolis. A driver says they began recording after witnessing a car crash between an ICE vehicle and another car.
Shame on you.
Listen, have y'all not learned from the past couple of days? Have you not learned?
Learned what? What's our lesson here? What do you want us to learn?
Following federal agents.
Give me my phone back. No, you can't take it.
Have you not learned? DHS.
All right. How about that?
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Learned. DHS tells CNN that they told the woman multiple times to move her car and that she could film across the street. That ICE agent's strong objection, physical objection to being filmed is something we've seen in several other cell phone videos, including this one from Portland, Maine. This is the latest state to receive an ICE enforcement surge.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
We're videotaping you? Are you crazy?
We have a nice little database, and now you're considered a domestic terrorist, the law enforcement.
All right. Now think about what he just said. We have a database, and now you're a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
Now, that is creepy in itself.
It is.
You know? Now,
yeah, man.
I fully support ICE. I do. And I think they have a tough job. But they're making this shit really tough on themselves to sell America.
It's like they're making up shit on
thing.
the fly, dude. Yeah. I mean, how do we have a database built for people videotaping? Now, if she was out there chucking Molotov cocktails and bricks and all, yes, then yeah, her name, will she be, just arrest them like any normal thing. You know, if police, like we were talking about, if the Union County police sheriff was out there doing warrants and somebody was impeding with that, they would get arrested for obstruction of justice or whatever, where you're sitting there trying to hamper a police officer doing their job. So get them on that. I mean, I don't understand why we got to dab people as a national terrorist or domestic terrorist or shut your mouth. I mean, dude, that's the problem, man. We were talking about how we didn't have video cameras back in the, oh, you imagine if we did?
If what?
Back in our Marine Corps days or high school, if there was video cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Like phones and internet. Yeah, it'd be bad. It'd be real bad. Yeah, so these dudes just don't know how to shut it. Just shut up. Why are you even talking to them? Now, like I said, the black dude or whatever color that dude was that pushed the white guy out from under, that was warranted to me. Get the hell out of the way. We've told you guys 100 times. I don't care. Well, I didn't hear it. I just showed up today. Mother, you don't stand in front of a damn vehicle that's trying to drive. You're going to get run over.
And all three scenes could have been warranted. I don't know. All I wanted to show, I just wanted to show it because it looks fucking bad. And you show enough, just, I don't know, just mothers this, you know, just think about it. You know, they always complain about how white mothers or white suburban women are so liberal. If you see this, you can't understand why ICE is doing that. Right. So I can understand why they think that way, but it just, I don't know, man. It just looks bad. And it's sad because I agree with these guys and I support these guys, but I can't say that it looks good. And the biggest issue is I think it's only going to get worse, but it has to if we want to take this country back. And I'm not talking about war. I'm talking about it's only going to get worse with the deportations because it's going to look worse. Because if you put up more of the resistance you put up, the worse it's going to look. You know, and then more fucking people are going to go out and protest, and it's going to get warmer. You know, I don't know, man. It just looks bad. It looks really bad.
It does.
Well, we're going to move on from them. I don't know if you saw this on the news. This is the second bio lab that they found, basically in a house. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, it was a biolab. The first one they found in California, and this one was in Vegas, but it's a Chinese biolab. Watch, check this shit out.
A possible biological lab inside a Las Vegas home, now under investigation. A federal investigation. Agents seizing vials of unknown liquids and probing a potential link to a Chinese national accused of running a similar lab in California that held deadly pathogens. Our senior national correspondent, William Lajeunesse, is reporting live on this out of Los Angeles for us. Hello, William.
Well, Sandra, two amazing things about this story. One, the man who owns that Vegas lab, he's a Chinese scientist linked to the CCP, is and has been in jail the last 3 years. Secondly, the lab is not an FDA licensed facility, but it's in a house in Vegas, raided Saturday morning by the FBI, SWAT pulling out boxes of what police believe are hazardous biological agents and pathogens normally found in a secure university or industrial lab with airlocks designed to prevent an outbreak.
Almost immediately, investigators observed multiple refrigerators, a freezer, and other laboratory-type equipment, along with numerous bottles and jugs containing unknown liquid substances.
So the Vegas lab, according to police, belongs to 62-year-old Zhu Baiju, a Chinese national, and a fugitive who also goes by the alias David He. He was arrested in 2023 for manufacturing unlicensed medical devices and lying about unapproved HIV and pregnancy test kits that he was selling. He also operated this illicit biolab in an abandoned warehouse in Reedley, California, where investigators found thousands of vials of blood and tissue, 1,000 genetically engineered mice designed to carry the COVID virus, and CDC tests did show the vials contained HIV, COVID, hepatitis, herpes, and malaria. Police arrested Zhu, and he's been in jail ever since. Congressional investigators linked the lab to the Chinese Communist Party, a tie that also suggests the same people are behind the Vegas lab.
What do we think these people were doing with those substances in the house? And I'll tell you, the truth is we don't know yet.
So House investigators say Zhu got financing from mainland China to create dozens of companies here and Canada. He employed mostly Chinese nationals to steal American intellectual property and transfer it to China. His trial begins in April. Sandra?
Yeah, so how many fucking these damn labs you think they got just hanging out around in this country? Just finding a
why
goddamn
you always gotta
bio
play
lab?
stuff that's scary? I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, there's no telling.
Yeah, we don't know what's in this country as it is. And
I mean, what
now
was
they-
that? A Fisher Price start a lab at home kit? It is scary, dude. And I'm not being racist on this one either. You can cut this out if you don't like this statement, but it's Chinese.
Yeah. And
you see what I'm getting at? It's like, dude, I mean, just because you guys are very intelligent don't mean you have to be messing with that shit.
Uh-huh. He'd
I'm
probably
telling
get paid
you,
a good
war
bit of
isn't
money to do that.
Well, yeah, I know, but war isn't what it's not weapons anymore, like bullets and grenades and explode. It's going to be chemical, dude. It's going to be disease.
Biological and
it's going
shit,
to be infections. Infectious disease is what our next war is going to be.
Well, I don't even know. But it looks like they planning to just pop that shit off in the center of the country.
I know.
I mean, that is scary when you think about that. You won't even know is the problem. At least if somebody's shooting at you, you got an idea where he's at. This shit, you ain't even gonna know.
Yeah. No, people just start getting sick and dying.
Did you see this one about the they had the first lawsuit? Well, it wasn't the first lawsuit, but it was the first lawsuit that went to a jury and was decided by a jury of a trans person that was suing about for detransitioning, should I say? So anyway, she accused the doctors of pushing her into a transition when she was 16, and she won the case. And I mean, this sets precedents for a lot because they saying thousands of people will probably start bringing the case because they were all pushed to do certain procedures, right?
Well, who was
and if that's the case, what's that?
Dude, I go to the doctor every 6 months, man. Ain't nobody saying you ever thought about changing to a woman there, Jason?
No, so what I was reading, and I'm gonna play a video for you, but what I was reading is some of these people were going in, like the kids. Let's just say she wanted to be a boy. She was a tomboy, and she's talking about it, and they bring her into the doctor, and the doctor's talking to her. And what they said is the doctors will start saying, look, check this out. You can either have a dead girl or you can have a living boy. And that's how they were getting the parents to buy into this shit because they were like, look, your daughter's going to kill herself if she can't be who she wants to be. And then they start, signing off on this shit. I didn't know that, but I've heard that from some of the things and some of the things I've read this week. But let's play this for you.
Now we move to a landmark medical ruling where a woman who detransitioned after identifying as a male in her teenage years, winning a $2 million malpractice suit. Mike Emanuel's got the story from here. And what is that, Mike? What happened?
Bill, good morning to you. That is one of more than 24 detransitioner lawsuits moving through our courts nationwide. The case you mentioned, which is under seal, reportedly involves a minor who identifies as a boy and sued New York doctors for leaving her, quote, disfigured for life. The question is how the verdict in the one case will impact the dozens of other cases. Elon Musk reacting on X, quote, there will be thousands of court cases of children who were mutilated by evil doctors, modern-day Mengelas. The schools, psychologists, psychiatrists, and state officials who facilitated this will pay dearly, too. Mengele is a reference to the Nazi doctor known as the Angel of Death. Meanwhile, California's Attorney General Rob Bonta is suing a San Diego children's hospital for stopping gender-affirming care for minors, arguing it should continue. Quote, Rady Children's Health has chosen to violate its merger agreement and California law in response to the Trump administration's illegal campaign against providers of gender-affirming care. The Department of Education says the Biden administration turned a blind eye to this deprivation of parental rights, and the Trump administration will fight relentlessly to end it. Bill?
Thanks, Mike. Jackie's got more.
All right, joining me now is detransitioner Chloe Cole. Chloe, thank you so much for being here this morning. I want to just start us off by playing, or showing you rather, what Marsha Blackburn, the senator, said in reaction to this case. She says, "This is exactly why I introduced the Chloe Cole Act, and the outcome in this case is a massive victory for children and parents. No child should be pushed into doing irreversible damage to their body under the guise of care." That act is named after you. What's your reaction to this legal victory, and what does it mean for what we might see next?
Frankly, that I think that $2 million is not nearly enough to compensate for the damages that these doctors have done to my generation. I think that it would only be right if next every single doctor, every single clinic that's been involved in this has their wallets completely drained. They're all thrown in prison with the keys thrown out. But I think that $2 million, this, especially in a blue state like New York, this bodes well for the rest of the 28 cases, including my own, of all the children who have been harmed and are seeking legal justice.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
I'm confused. I wish
What
I
happened?
didn't. What do you mean what happened? Have you not watched the video before?
Yeah, but
I know you did.
I don't know what you're confused about.
Dang, they want to be this way. Now they don't want to be this way. I'm confused.
Well, she's
they are
saying that
too.
she was coerced. She was coerced to become a boy, is what she was saying.
Jeez. Hey, listen. There was probably a lot of money. So yeah, I like what Elon Musk said, that a lot teachers, psychiatrists, all these people that are pushing these kids. I've always said that this should have never been able to be done to anybody that's not an adult.
Oh, I agree with that.
Even if the parent signs off on it, that should be illegal as hell. And they need to make a law right now stating anybody under the age of the adulthood. Different states have, remember I told you, Nebraska is 19, not 18. So whatever your state law is for an adult, you can't have that.
Well,
you're off the table.
The good thing about this is, so now she won a lawsuit. Now somebody else, they have a precedence for this. Now that she won.
Now it's gonna it's gonna snowball, dude.
So
There's
now
gonna be
we'll
lawsuits
start
out the
seeing,
yin-yang.
on your commercial come up. Did you think you needed to cut your dick off when you were 16?
Yeah,
call J&B Law Firm.
J&B Black Cock Law Firm.
It'd be billboards everywhere.
And that's not C-O-C-K, that's C-H-A-U-L-K, caulk, or C-A-U-L-K. I can't spell, but anyway, it's not. No, I'm telling
I
you,
agree with that.
if you put 100 civilized people, 100 civilized, not far left, far right, put them in the middle, I'm going to tell you, they're going to sit there and they would see more of my side than they do that far left side, is what I'm getting at.
I agree. I'm not going to tell you that what I'm trying to do is normalize anything.
Yes.
But I agree with you on that. But the problem is there are a lot of people that think opposite. And that's all I'm trying to show. Now, this guy, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if it's AI, but I thought it would be pretty fun just to put in here. So here's Mr. Rogers explaining it to you.
I love Mr. Rogers.
Boys are boys from the beginning. If you were born a boy, you stay a boy. Girls are girls right from the start. If you were born a girl, you stay a girl and grow up to be a lady. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. Only girls can be the mommies. Only boys can be the daddies. Yes, sir. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine.
Emotional damage. I don't
So what do
think
you
that.
think?
I don't think that's AI. I think
You think that's
he
real?
actually. Yeah, I do. Because he would address a lot of issues that were going on in the United States. I mean, he was a Presbyterian Christian, and Very good dude. I mean, he was very well respected even amongst people that weren't Christians. I mean, he
didn't
just
watch
had good
him.
morals.
I didn't watch a lot of. I don't know if I really watched any of Mr. Rogers. Now I did watch
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie with Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
But
And if you watch the documentary on him, it was real good. But yeah, I watched him growing up. It was on KET, and we enjoyed watching him. I mean, him and the train or the trolley car that would go into the make believe land and all that with the puppets and all that stuff. And Eddie Murphy's rendition of Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood was real good too.
now, do you want to see some more crazies this week?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Would
Let's
that
get
make
in
you
there,
happy?
dude. Yeah,
All right, let's check
get me
out the
excited.
crazies of the weeks. Here we go. Let's check this bitch out.
Remember how much power nurses have in this country?
Holy shit.
One of our own was just murdered in the street. So, we might be able to stop this somehow. Thoughts?
Good morning. Did you know most ICE agents don't wear their plates properly? I've seen it.
You know, as the type of ICU nurse I was cardiac ICU nurse. And I did a lot of time, lots of hours, holding on a groin that wouldn't stop bleeding. Let me tell you what, that femoral artery, those veins in the legs, I can't remember, it's late in my shift, okay? I know it, I'm tired. Anyway, the vasculature in the leg, it really bleeds well. Someone could bleed out very quickly from that, probably like a couple of minutes, really. I would really suggest to all the healthcare organizations out there that if you have knowingly MAGA employees, that you terminate them. They're not safe people to take care of other people. You can't have people who have open racism in the healthcare system. I mean, we already know that exists, because if you're a black woman in healthcare, you know. But if you're openly MAGA at this point and you're supporting the murdering of people, you don't deserve to be in healthcare. You should have your license removed. That's so disappointing. And I remember working with them. So annoying.
So
Dude, what do you think?
I was waiting for the Silence of the Lambs music. The Buffalo Bob or whatever danced to when he tucked his stuff in between his legs. Just saying. He, she, whatever it was. Here's the deal. But beyond that, if I get on here and make comments like that, supporting death to innocent people, I didn't support the Renee Good shooting. I didn't support the Petrie shooting or whatever. I'm saying the Renee Good one was a bad situation for both parties. The Petrie one was, in my mind, what I've seen so far from the videos was wrong. They messed up. I'm not sitting there saying good riddance to him. That's another one out the door, Brian. That's one more off the list.
Yeah.
If that got back to my business, if that got back, I probably ain't gonna have a job.
Well, even fuck that. I mean, how could you live with yourself by saying that?
You have no humanity, dude. The Democrats supposedly are the ones that want peace and love and all this stuff, dude. They're the ones that hate the most, man. They're more violent. They're more for violence than anybody I've ever seen.
Because I don't really think that they don't understand what violence is. You know what I'm getting at? To them, violence is, throwing some bricks and burning some shit down. Violence is not other people coming at them and punching them in the mouth and taking a fight to them. They haven't seen that.
No.
And that's what they want. And there's a lot of people in this fucking country that can bring them that shit. But we all need to restrain from that, because honestly, I really believe they like that little fucking kid running around the neighborhood talking shit about you, but you can never catch the little bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
they
are
right
bastard.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they waiting, one day you're gonna catch them. And I hope we don't, but that's
Right.
what they want. They just fucking edging you on for you to go catch them. And we got to
Well,
restrain from that.
and there's a lot of mental illness out there too, Brian, and it's not being handled correctly. It's not being diagnosed. It's not being medicated or whatever. And I hate medicine. I'm not going to lie. But some of it you have to, and that's just when people think like that, Brian.
Well-
That's demonic. I'm just call that stuff out every time. There's just a demonic presence over people like that have a thinking of I'm in the nurse field, and boy, that femoral artery, hey, that hits close to home. That's how my lieutenant got killed, and another boy in a convoy, because they both took rounds in the leg and hit the femoral artery. And you're done. You're pretty well done. The chances of surviving a femoral artery injury is slim to none. And for you to say that, that's sad. I mean, to wish that upon anybody, that's
Well, and I'm not going to take up for that, whatever. I don't know if that was a dude or a girl, whatever it was. I'm not going to take up for it. But if you listen and if you believe Hitler was the worst thing in the world, and you believe fascism is the worst thing in the world, and then you got the news constantly saying shit like this, let's check this out. What are you supposed to believe?
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
So can I read the definition of fascist?
Yep, go ahead.
I didn't know what it fully meant, but the Webster Dictionary says a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime such as that of the fascists that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, and that is characterized by severe economic. Yeah, you just
I
had
don't know why
another.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know
thing
why
just
that
popped
went
up.
on there.
And that is characterized by severe economic and social regimentation and by forcible suppression of opposition.
All right, so tell us like we're a 4-year-old what that meant.
Okay, so basically it's saying if you don't do what I say to do, then I'm going to cut you off and I'm going to starve you to death.
And if you really believe that, wouldn't you not hate the people that support them?
Yes. I mean, you would, Brian, but here's the deal. That's not happening.
I agree with you.
Saddam Hussein, when the first Gulf War happened, right? The southern border there at Kuwait put up no resistance to the Americans when they came up in the first war, in the first Gulf War. They put up no resistance. When we pulled out and left, and this was the one in the 90s, correct? The first Gulf War.
Yeah.
We pulled out and left. What did Saddam do? That place was lavished. It was the economy was booming and all. He cut the water off to them people, and he cut off the money. And that place looked like a dump when we were up there in 2004. And we were like, man, the further north you went, the more beautiful it got, right? You started seeing green grass in places and nicer buildings and all that, but the South was horrible. And come to find out, that's what happened. That's fascism. Since they didn't put their lives on the line to keep the American forces and the Allies coming in, they knew they were going to get smoked. So they just said, I'm not dying for this. What did Saddam do? He cut them off, his own people. That's fascism. And then he was putting them ones in themselves and euthanizing, right? The ones that didn't think like him and all that stuff. That's fascism. What Hitler did to the Jews, that's fascism. I mean, how are you even saying that this orange dude is doing? He has not once even came close to any of that fascist stuff. Putin, China, they got dictators, dude. Cuba, or not Cuba, North Korea, same thing. Man, go live over there. Go live over there and see how you like it.
Well, you just seen what the news is telling them.
Yeah.
So how are they? You see what I'm getting at? Yes, I agree with everything what you're saying, but if you're listening to just that one echo chamber, that's all you know.
Yeah.
That is your life. So he is a fascist in their minds because these people are telling them that.
Yeah, but they're whoring that word though.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to read the meaning of it. I never looked it up. Never dealt with it. I heard the word, but I never did. Like narcissism. I didn't even know what narcissism. I heard it before. I didn't know what a narcissist was until my wife showed it to me, and a dude I was hanging around was guilty of it. Like he was 8 out of the 10. I was like, holy cow.
Yep, there's him.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm like,
damn, dude, you're reading about Jerry?
Yeah. Like where'd you get, did AI do this? Did you explain this, dude? And it just designed, no. I looked, once I got to looking at it, I looked up more. Next thing you know, it's on TikToks, and because a phone reads you, right? Once you look up something, you start getting it all over the place. But it answered a lot of questions for me when people fit that bill. But when you go and look at the definition, Webster, that's what the country goes off of for definitions of stuff, right? Is the Webster dictionary. Look it up, and can you plug Trump into all that, what was said in Webster dictionary? No. I don't care what you vote. I don't care what you vote, Brian. You can't. Okay. He's not doing none of that.
All right. Well, all that shit that they watching leads to shit like this.
I woke up and chose violence against the Red Hats today. I will wake up and choose violence against the Red Hats every day.
Now, she didn't say she was going to wake up and choose violence against the Red Hats.
Right.
So we're the Red Hats.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be an angry person to want to just bring violence against people you don't even know us. Why would you want to bring violence to us? That makes no sense. That makes no logical sense at all. And it's just the way that you're thinking that it makes no logical sense for them to think that, Trump's a fascist based off of what's being done. But this is what these fucking people believe.
I know. I mean, what happened to waking up with the case of the F-arounds? I mean, why do people think they got to wake up and choose violence?
I don't know. So, but I did look up right-wing extremists because I was trying to kind of curious to see what they had, and I couldn't. I really looked. I'm not trying to play this off. I really looked, but I couldn't find anything on there, like a bunch of guys running around. Now, I did find a video, and I started watching last night on YouTube about the militias that's in the United States, but it's a left-wing group that's making a video about the militias, and it's pretty interesting. So my friend is watching that. So I do see some right-wing extremism that way, but all they kept showing on that right-wing extremism shit was January 6th. That's all they kept showing.
Right.
January 6th and when they were in, what was it, Charleston or whatever, when they were carrying the torches. That's what they kept going back to, those two things. And I'm thinking all of this shit that's been going on, especially since George Floyd, there's so much shit you can point to on the left-wing extremists, just tearing shit up. It doesn't even compare. But here's a couple of videos I did find. That's what's going to explain to you, my son, what a right-wing extremist is.
I need educated.
It's a tricky business being what's called a conservative, meaning a right-wing extremist. Your policies have to be to enrich and empower a tiny sector of the population and harm everyone else. But at the same time, you have to gain popular support. That's a tricky operation. There are ways of doing it. So the Republicans in the last the last 20, 30 years have more or less stopped being a political party in the traditional sense. But they have gained popular support, for one reason, by mobilizing Christian evangelicals. I mean, they've been there forever, but they were never organized into a political force until the Reagan years, really. And that gives you a pretty solid voting base. I mean, remember, this country is just off the spectrum in religious fundamentalism, totally off the spectrum, always has been since the colonists. But by now you have, at least if polls can be believed, about a third of the population believing that every word of the Bible is literally true. You have one of the new Republicans, who's the head of some committee on the environment, explained that you don't have to worry about global warming because God promised Noah that there wouldn't be another flood. I don't think there's any other country in the world where somebody could say that and not be laughed out of the room. But that passes here.
So you are right-wing extremists. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you didn't, here's another one. This is what type of shit I found.
But I want to see proof.
You right-wing extremists are into that gender binary, which is very oppressive.
So I'm just going to, just really fast, I'm not a right-wing extremist. I'm actually a
United States... You have American flag on your shirt.
I'm a United States Air Force veteran. My parents are legal immigrants from the Middle East.
Do you believe there are two genders?
Yes, I believe there's...
then you're a right-wing extremist.
That has nothing to do with being right-wing. There's men and women. If some people have gender dysphoria...
Did you wear a mask during the pandemic?
I definitely did not wear a
mask.
Well,
then you are a right-wing extremist.
Do you guys think it's odd that we're thought of as controversial? I find it very odd that so many people...
You are cracking me up. Just today I was thinking, I'd like to write a column. This is what I believe. Why am I called a right-winger? That was what I was thinking the entire column, because I thought it's redundant. As a Jew in New York who went to Columbia, by definition, you're a liberal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's redundant to say you're a liberal. But I realize everything that I believed when I was a liberal and a Democrat, I still believe. I know you have this totally.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's every one of those beliefs is now called right wing. I didn't change. I'm sorry, I didn't.
You are an extremist, Jason.
If I'm going to be called one, I'm going to look like one.
Yeah, you just sue.
Yeah, I don't want anybody seeing my face.
Pretty simple to become a right-wing extremist.
But you don't know if I'm hiding my identity or if I'm afraid I'm going to get COVID. So don't judge, right?
I think it's more that you're afraid to get COVID.
Yes, it is.
Especially with that Chinese biolab they have there in Vegas.
I know, dude.
Now.
You done scared me. So now I got to start wearing a damn mask again.
You got to wear it everywhere. You never know because that COVID not going to get through that. You know.
I know, dude. Hold on. Let me fart. Waft it up. Can I smell that? Yeah, shit. This mask ain't doing nothing. Gosh, dang, cheap stuff.
Yep. So you believe in God, you're right-wing extremist. You wear a fucking American flag shirt, you're right-wing extremist. You have a flag, American flag flying in your front yard, you're a right-wing extremist. That's what this country was founded over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't wear a mask during COVID? Right-wing extremist.
A family member of mine on their Facebook still has that on there. Your mask protects me and my mask protects you. And I mean, guys, no, it don't. Oh, no, it don't. People need to go through the military NBC training. I don't want to get off subject, but they have no idea how gas mask and NBC stuff works and all that. Your little KNP or whatever or KP90 or KN90 mask or whatever it was. We had them. We had them at work. That it's not protecting you from that stuff. It might slow it down just a tad. Yeah, it's not protecting you.
You'll know.
You'll know.
Well, going on to our next one, there's a lot of motherfuckers being protected from the old Epstein files. And Todd Blanche, let me let him tell you what's going on with these Epstein files.
You said this is the end of the Epstein, of your review of the Epstein files. So just to clarify, is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, Why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
I mean, you just baked in an assumption into your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I don't understand what that means.
Well, I mean, they're the men who abused the young women through Epstein's.
Look, we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July. If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women, we would prosecute them. Right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But I don't think that the public or you all are going to uncover men within the Epstein files that abuse women, unfortunately.
In other words, there's nothing to see here. Look away. Look away. Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem with it, though, is was there anything there to begin with?
What do you mean?
Okay, so right now we're hung up on accusations that there was like 13, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls there, and they were being handed around to like Trump and Bill Clinton and Diddy, all the people that were showing up or whatever. Brian, what was it before the files? Wasn't it as bad as little kids? I'm sorry, a 13-year-old is a teenager. It's not a little kid. I'm talking 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 babies being
I don't know if that was ever
abducted
discussed
and
with the
being
Epstein
sacrificed.
files,
huh?
Was that discussed in the Epstein
Yes,
files?
that's what they thought that island was child trafficking.
But I remember when they started talking about it, whenever he got prosecuted and he got slapped on the hand in Florida for sex crimes, and it was, I don't remember him being, I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being that small of kids that came out for these files. Now, I'm not going to say that these elites aren't fucking doing that dumb shit, but I don't know if that came out with these files.
But I'm telling you, before Trump ran on that, that's what when he got arrested and put in jail, that was what everybody was talking about, was down to children, like young children being abused and being trafficked over there and being held in underground cells and all that stuff and being used for the elites to have sex and sacrifices and all that crap. That I'm telling you, that was going around. That was the rumor that was going on at that island, not 16, 17-year-old barely legal or right at legal age or whatever. Not that. It was way, and people are like, well, below 18's below. I understand what you're getting at, but I'm still saying it was down
even
to the
more
net.
sick. You taking sick to a whole nother level when you get below a certain age. Yes, I agree. You shouldn't be fucking a 16-year-old, but when you get to like fucking that below and you start getting to like infants and little kids and toddlers, you had a whole different level of fucking sick.
I think it was in Idaho last week or something. I seen, or not in. I wasn't in Idaho. I was on the phone looking, and there was a teacher that was accused of having sex when her husband was out on a business trip with one of her students. Guess how old the kid was? 17. She was 23, a teacher, and the kid was 17. Now, yes, they're below 18, so they're considered a minor. She's on the registry, but she got a fine. She didn't even get jail time. She's on the registry. Her and her husband left. I mean, her husband is backing her so far, but they up and left and moved to another state.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not even comparison. We're talking about traffic kids versus voluntarily.
I know, but I'm
sex.
saying that's what, when people are like, how'd she not? The dude was 17. There's a difference between, there's a big difference between having sex with a 17-year-old and having sex with an 8-year-old. In my eyes, there is.
There's a big difference, but if you had a
Yes.
23-year-old dude dicking down your daughter at 17, you wouldn't be happy about that, would you?
Well, that's different. That's my daughter. Now, if that was my son, I don't know. I mean, I might be like, now, Ryan,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
getting at,
wrong.
yeah.
Like, and then close the door and high five. Like, yeah. But anyways, no. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, yeah. Let's not go there tonight. Let's keep the train on the tracks here.
So
I'm just saying it has changed the narrative. It's changed a
you're
lot
probably
with
right.
these files. And I think now that stuff is coming out, I mean, the dude just straight up acting and saying that, why are the Clintons testifying? Why are they going in front of in that hearing about this? If there's nobody guilty of
Because
anything.
they subpoenaed them.
Okay, but if nobody's guilty of anything, why are they subpoenaed? I mean, why
Because their
didn't you
names
just
were
say that?
mentioned in the file so much.
Okay.
They wasn't
so-
going in at all. And then they got subpoenaed. And now why exactly they going in, I have no idea. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but I'm
basically what it
talking
was.
about that dude that was in front of the podium saying if we knew of anybody, they'd have been arrested by now. Like, he's acting like there's no evidence of nothing.
He's because he thinks you're stupid. That's why. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is the fucking Fast and the Furious fucking theory playing out in real time.
Well, it's
He
like the
thinks you're
Diddy
fucking
stuff,
stupid.
dude. The Diddy stuff at his mansion with all the baby oil and all that. You think he just loved baby oil? Or there was some
He might
nasty
have.
shit going on there?
Might have.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, he had a
Well,
baby
we got a
oil
lot.
fetish.
We're going to talk about a lot more
Okay.
of Epstein. We're not finished with Epstein, but this is
know.
the whole reason why I brought up Thomas Massey before, and this is why I like Thomas Massey. He's actually a congressman from your state of Kentucky.
He's all right, dude.
He
I used
catches
to like
a lot
Rand
of.
Paul, but I'm not big Rand Paul dude anymore.
Well, I'm about to show you why I like. And again, I don't agree with everything Thomas Massey does, but I do like the fact that he pushed to release the Epstein files. And I don't know if you knew that, but he was one of the major reasons. He was the primary sponsor, along with Ro Khanna, Democrat Ro Khanna, for the bill for the Epstein files to release, and it was largely supported by the Democrats, but it was only a handful of Republicans that supported the bill to release the Epstein files, and the other ones that supported it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert. They were other Republican sponsors, but it seems to me that these women have more of a backbone, or should we say balls, than most Republican men, because we got all these women support. What is wrong with releasing these Epstein files? Why wasn't this across the board? Let's release these son of a bitches. I just don't get that.
Because there's so many people's hands in it, Brian.
Oh, I agree with I agree with that. That's what it's pretty fucking obvious whenever they not supporting it.
Unless you're Hillary Clinton, if you cover this up, you're doing a distrust to the women in the United States. And that's why women are more, no matter what their political view is, when they know there's something, they don't care. They're like, hey, because if I get the women to back me up in the United States, they got my back. Men, we turn on each other all the time. So they think if they back this thing up, that they're performing political suicide. Because there's so many people involved in this, Brian. I mean, we know there is. They're protecting people.
That billionaire club. They're protecting the billionaire club. And Massey's going to say this when he was talking about this whenever he gave his speech on the floor. Listen to this.
Decades. That is wrong. Do not let the Senate muck this bill up. And if you're a party to that in the Senate, you are part of this cover-up that we are trying to expose. I am sorry if one of your billionaire donors is going to get embarrassed because he went to Rape Island. That is what they have coming. In fact, they need to be on the other side of bars, a lot of them. Some of them will be embarrassed, but some of them need to go to prison, and the survivors know that. So how will we know if this bill has been successful? We will know when there are men, rich men, in handcuffs being perp-walked to the jail. And until then, this is still a cover-up.
How can you not fucking support that?
Yeah, so now you go back to the guy at the podium and you're asking him, are these men going to pay? He's like, what men are you talking about? Like, if we knew about the men, we'd already arrested them. But then Thomas Massey said, you'll know if this thing's done or not when you start seeing rich billionaires in cuffs getting perp walked to jail. And if you don't see any, then there's still a cover up. So he's telling, he put it on notice. They know the people. Why are they saying billionaires? You know what I'm saying? They know the people.
Oh, it's the billionaires club. I mean, you got to have money to play.
I'm not in it.
No, you're
I'm
not in it.
I'm not on that
again,
list, Brian.
No, and I'll go back to the
list.
beginning when you're saying people think that they can identify with these people and they think that these elites really care about. They have no fucking idea about you. They have no idea how you live your life. They don't care about how you live your life. Just support them and keep sending them your fucking money and letting them ass rape you in taxes and giving their money to all these illegals. Just let them keep doing it. That's all you need to do, and they'll be fucking happy.
Unless the government's listening to this, anybody else listening to this, let the government seize your money and see how quick you're out on the street versus when they seize a billionaire's money, when they lock their accounts down, they're not homeless. They continue living their same lifestyle. How?
Yeah.
How, Brian? Don't it take money to get stuff? And if your accounts are locked up, how are you still surviving? If they lock my stuff up, like if somebody started garnishing my wages for back taxes and all that, I'm done. I'm losing stuff. My house is gone. Why is these people when they're like, we seized their accounts, we froze their bank accounts?
That's because money buys access, and those people have access to other things that'll get them by.
I know. That's how. I mean, that's how far apart we are, though, Brian.
Oh, yeah, very far apart. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that would put us on the streets, and they would still have access to everything because that's just how they are. I mean, that's just how their life is.
You make good money. I make good money too. But at the end of the day, it ain't that money. We don't have that kind of power.
Fuck no.
They got power behind their name. It don't even have to be money. There's a lot of power behind their names.
Well, let's check this son of a bitch out. This is Massey again walking out, and he's got some reporter trying to catch him off guard. Let's check this classy motherfucker out.
2 weeks, you repeated AOC's talking points on Venezuela, and Jasmine Crockett has retweeted you. When will you change your party affiliation to Democrat?
I thought you knew. I vote with Republicans 91% of the time. And the 9% I don't, they're taken up for pedophiles, starting another war, or bankrupting our country.
Come on.
I love
How about that, bitch?
Yeah.
Pretty good answer.
Yeah, I love it because that's who I want. I want a guy that votes for good moral things, no matter what the party.
Exactly. And that's how it should be.
And he just said it. Yeah. But here's the problem. You can't win. You can't win as an independent. There are very few independents. What was there, like 2 or 3 of them in there? Maybe 1, 2. I don't know. We'll have to Google that later.
It depends on how big your area is and how much they need your area. Like if you in an area that is predominantly controlled by a certain party, they might not fight with you too much for running as independent. You might win a little race, but you're not winning any major races as an independent.
Right.
You don't have enough money.
That's what I'm saying. You won't be supported in order to run, and you won't have the backing. That's why you have to pick a side, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with it all the time. That's what I'm saying. You can. He said 91% of the time he votes Republican, but when it comes to pedophiles, covering up for pedophiles, bankruptcy, or bankrupting the United States or war, that's when he votes the other way.
But the only problem is there's only two or 3 more like him, you know?
It'd be nice. Yeah, Fetterman, I think Fetterman's one of them. He's the one on the Democrat side that I see that does that.
Yeah. Well, let's see how CBS wanted to handle Epstein files.
I can only imagine on that one.
The files reveal hundreds of references to President Trump, who's never been charged with any wrongdoing.
Some describe allegations referencing underage women. Others detail parties allegedly held at the president's Mar-a-Lago estate. A 2012 email details the possibility of Epstein going to Mar-a-Lago after Christmas. That's several years after Trump claims he and Epstein ended their friendship.
I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years or more.
In a 2016 deposition, Epstein is asked several questions about former President Bill Clinton flying on his jet and whether he was accompanied by 2 young women. Epstein answered fifth to each question. Clinton has denied any wrongdoing. In another email, Epstein writes about helping Microsoft founder Bill Gates to get drugs in order to deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls. Gates' ex-wife told CBS News her then-husband's relationship with Epstein played a role in their divorce. Epstein, in an exchange with Elon Musk, discusses sending his helicopter to take him to his island. Musk asking what day, night, will be the wildest party. Danny Bensky, who said she was abused by Epstein in 2004 at age 17, believes the Justice Department is withholding information.
So I think that the release right now is being sold as transparency, and it is not transparent at all. I think it 100% protects the perpetrator.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
We didn't protect or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents.
A spokesperson for Bill Gates called the claims against him completely false. No comment yet from Elon Musk. The White House says the documents include sensationalist claims against the president, and the Justice Department says it withheld about 200,000 documents for legal reasons, and that the review of the Epstein matter is complete. Tony?
Ed, thank you very much.
Again, nothing to see here. Please look away. There's nothing to see here. You buy that shit?
No, I don't buy it. And I think, like we have said a bunch of times that we've talked about it, or it's came up on our shows, is I think it's both sides, and there's your problem. If it was one side, not the other, dude, all the names would be coming out. Guarantee it.
Or it's gotten to a point to where it's so high, and I'm talking about way above politics.
The ones pulling the strings, the puppet strings? Yeah.
Yeah, well, when one name starts rolling, where does it stop?
Right.
So at some point, they're going to have to figure out who's going to be the sacrificial lambs. Is that the reason maybe the Clintons are going in?
Well, wonder if they're working that out right now.
I don't know. But so let's talk about some of the prominent names mentioned in the released in the files. Now, I did write this disclaimer just to it says all right, so my disclaimer is I'm not stating that any of these people attended or participated in any of the events revolving around the allegations at Rape Island. Many names appeared due to social and business ties rather than criminal implications, and several individuals have publicly denied knowledge of Epstein's crimes. However, these people are mentioned quite a bit in these Epstein files, so we'll just leave it at that.
I'm winking at you.
Yeah, and the one that was mentioned the most is Donald Trump. Not saying he done anything bad or not, but he was in there 3,000 or 5,000 times. A lot more than the others. Bill Clinton, he was in there. It says frequently, no exact count. There was this British royal, old Prince Andrew. He was like the only one that I think had like any kind of punishment. I think they took his crown from him. He still got his money and shit, I guess, but they denounced him from his crown. Elon Musk, and everyone knows who Elon is. Bill Gates, I got a little more on Bill Gates a little bit later. Steve Tisch, he's the co-owner of the New York Giants, and he's a Hollywood producer. Howard Lutnick, he's the U.S. Commerce Secretary presently. George Mitchell, he's a former U.S. citizen, former U.S. senator. Richard Branson, the Virgin Group founder. He was weird looking fucker. Larry Summers, he's the former U.S. Treasury Secretary. And we got Peter Mandelson, former UK ambassador to the U.S. The Google co-founder, Sergey Brin. And then we got Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, some princess, a crown princess of Norway. Another billionaire called Leon Black. And this is one I find funny. This is why I don't know if all of them participated in it. And that's going to be pretty fucked up when I tell you his name. Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I know. Dude, there's another podcast that I listen to called Bad Friends. And they're two comedians. It's this white redheaded dude from Chicago, and then Asian dude. And it's funny if you ever get a chance. Listen, and people that listen to us, it's funny. I like them. But anyways, there's a little skit on TikTok of them. Wonder what that was like for Stephen Hawkins. I want to go to the island. Please take me to the island. He was sitting there like he was typing out on that thing his little electronic. Don't know what all he was doing because from like the neck down, that dude didn't have nothing. So
yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Maybe
either.
he was just into watching.
Maybe
I don't know.
He could have bought something and had somebody else do it. I don't know. Get him off.
Guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan Dershowitz and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo?
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
So
Diddy, Jay-Z, Oprah.
Well, I
Oprah
read
was on
somewhere years ago about Leonardo DiCaprio being like the head guy for like the demonic shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man.
He might be.
And I mean, some of that shit runs deep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of big names in here. We play this next video, and it's going to shed a little more light on Bill Gates.
Oh, you guys, the brand new Epstein files just dropped, and it's completely off the rails. Now let's just jump right into it, starting with this. Bill Gates, yet again, is in the Epstein files, but this time, Epstein mentions his wife in a very, very interesting situation. So Epstein tells Bill Gates, and I quote, "To add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. Your request, I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda and the description of your penis." Bro, what? So not only Bill Gates caught something, but then gave it to his wife. Real stand-up guy. Isn't it funny? That same year, in 2013, Bill Gates offers a challenge for $100K to whomever can make the next generation condom. Completely makes sense now. Now, Bill Gates must have been really pissed off because that same year, Epstein gets kicked off of Xbox. Now, who owns Xbox? Microsoft. Now, moving along to the old school TV star Robin Leach, who hosted the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, who they said unalived a young girl at a party. The files say the complainant claims to have a video of a high-profile sex party dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. What is going on? Then we have this picture of Prince Andrew, who, mind you, lost his royal status and got completely exiled. Shows a young female whose face is redacted and only God knows what and where this is taking place. Oh, it gets even worse for Andrew though, because they said back in the 90s, Maxwell recruited a girl for her modeling career, and instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. The victim's statement says that Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and made the victim forced to murder her. Then we have Rachel Chandler, aka the child handler. Now, you may or may not have heard of her because she's been under wraps for a long time, but I know exactly who she is. Now, she was a casting agent who worked closely with Epstein and MC2 Models, which was owned by Jean-Luc Brunel, an accomplice of Epstein. Now, here she is credited in the Epstein files, and she's been seen on private jets with Epstein and Bill Clinton. And it's also to note that Jean-Luc Brunel, just like Epstein, unalived himself in his cell. But it doesn't stop there, because Jay-Z is in the Epstein files as well. Says here, approximately in 1996, some man abducted the victim and then she woke up to Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, where he inserts her fingers into you know what. Now, the victim states that all this went down in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Now, you guys, there's a whole...
God. I mean, Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm.
So he catches STD, gives it to his wife, and then he's going to take antibiotics and just slip it in her drink. So he ain't got to tell her. And this is his response to that. So I found I think it was his Twitter response. So it says, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is false, he said. So I don't know what his thinking was there. Was he trying to attack me in some way? It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret. And I apologize that I did that. Really? That's what he's apologizing for? Because he spent some time with Jeffrey Epstein? Gave his wife STD? Slipped her some fucking antibiotics? The what it was, what was Leach on? The millionaire, what it was, the House of Millionaires, or what the fuck was the name of that show? Robin Leach.
The Homes of the Rich and Famous.
The Homes of the Rich, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Rich and Famous, yeah. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous,
and they say that motherfucker choked the girl out, kill her.
Yeah, it's like, damn, dude.
Yeah, I mean, these are some old bastards that are supposed to be, I mean, they're not supposed to be to hurt people. I mean, you look at them, they look feeble. So maybe Hawkins did do something. I mean, I don't know, but these motherfuckers are a lot more sinister than what we think.
Hawkins may have been running them over with his wheelchair or something, you know, shit.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, think about it. If you got Robin Leach, they're saying Robin Leach is strangling a girl. He doesn't look like the most intimidating one out of all of them.
Yeah, but those are the ones you got to work. Those are the ones you got to look out for, Brian.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's some nice dudes with the soft voice. I mean, dude, look at Jeffrey Dahmer, man. He was a passive dude.
Yeah, did you ever watch that? His
no, I never watched the series. I caught bits and pieces.
Oh my
Ollie
God.
watched it. I never watched it.
It's good. Yeah, you need to check that out. It was a twisted motherfucker, man.
Yeah, I mean, the dude was cooking up people, and woman.
All he wanted was a friend.
Yeah,
just wanted a friend.
He just wanted to take pictures. Shut up.
God damn. So yeah, these people are fucked up. I mean, they need to start going to jail. Period. I mean, that is just beyond anything. That just shows you that we're not in the same level as them. If we would have done anything remotely like this, we'd be locked up right now. We wouldn't be talking on this fucking podcast or anything. But
what do we keep saying though, Brian? Is anything going to change? Is anything going to happen?
No, I mean, we have to force that change. We do. We have to stick together and to be able to force that change. Only us can do this, because if we relying on the same people that's causing the problems to be the ones that fix the problem's never going to get fixed. You know, and we have to hold them accountable. What does that look like? I have no fucking idea. I really don't.
Brian, this stuff's coming out now. I mean, look at everything that's going on that's causing division to the Americans, to the average people, that's causing us to be divided, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that always happen right before something comes out?
Yeah, and it seems
they
like
know
that's
something's
all the time,
fixed. So. Well, they know something's fixing to come out, so they got to start causing division and conflict, because if we can't get along, then we're not going to stand up when nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's sleight of hand, dude. I'm telling you, it's like a magician thing. Don't watch this hand, watch this hand. While this hand over here is doing this, just keep an eye on this hand. That's what they're doing to us, man.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can't come together. If anything, I mean, for this, I mean, they were abusing girls, young girls.
I'll Venmo you $100, a crisp $100, Brian. I'm not going to say 1,000 or what. 100's a good number that people can believe. If one person of notable thing is arrested for this.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
It would tear the whole thing down. Their whole fucking group. It would tear them all down, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen,
dude.
But
it's kind of like if me, you, Gary, Nick, Nate, Cordova, the old group, kind of like if we went out and did something, if anybody felt, I mean, if it was bad enough, if anybody felt that somebody was weak out of us that would rat on the other ones, y'all might take that person out.
Well, that's kind of what's happening.
That's kind of like Jeffrey Epstein is no longer with us. I mean, there's conspiracy theories that he's still alive and they made it look like he's dead or whatever, and they hauled him off somewhere and he's being held where he can't talk and blah, blah, blah. But either way, he's not talking. He's not existing. And I think that they were worried when he got arrested, Brian, that shit was going to start unraveling.
What did you hear in that last video that said Jean-Luc Brunel, the French modeling agent dude that was feeding girls to Epstein?
Yeah.
He was arrested on a rape and trafficking charges, but he died in his cell.
Yeah. Wonder why they keep dying.
Yeah, just apparent suicide.
Yeah, and the cameras or something weren't working during all this, and
well, all right. So I don't know how to say this poor girl's last name, but she was also known as Virginia Roberts. It's like I can't say her real name, but she died also. She died by suicide. She was one that had a key lawsuit against Epstein and Maxwell. And then they had Carolyn, I can't say her last name. She testified against Maxwell in 2021. She was recruited at age 14. She died of an accidental drug overdose in May of 2023 at 36. And they had Lee Sky Patrick, another Florida victim, died of an overdose in May of 2017 at age 29. So you really think all these people are just dying?
Yeah, it's just bad luck, Brian. It just is. There's nothing.
So yeah, I can understand why more people don't want to come forth. I get it. You kind of want to breathe. You don't want to be pushing daisies.
You don't have, dude. You don't have a voice.
No.
You think you have a voice and you don't, because when you start messing with people with power, there's going to be accidental deaths.
And that's the problem. Power. Why do they have power? Why do we give them the power?
They
only have the power if we let them have it. Yeah,
that's right.
So I was curious on how you can have a sex trafficker arrested without having Johns. And we talked about this before, but I looked into it, and by law of the statute, that the way it's written, a sex trafficker that doesn't need a John because he's already holding someone captive and trafficking them. Mm-hmm. So in the case of Epstein, that's why his arrest was basically. But Maxwell, she was trafficking the girls to Epstein, so Epstein was the John basically in her case. In general, that's what I found out.
Right.
But the short note of all this is just more elites protecting more elite bullshit is what this is. And I don't know how we get around that, how we get over that. It's until we get somebody in handcuffs, I don't know what we do. I really don't.
There's the problem, man. I wanted to see the swamp doesn't just include the government. It includes anybody with their hands in it, like donators and, you know what I'm saying, special interest groups. That's the swamp includes that whole mess. And I wanted to see that cleaned up. And you know what? It takes a special kind of narcissism. That's like the extreme narcissism to run a campaign that you're going to expose that and hold it accountable. And if your name's in there 5,000 times and you had any one thing to do with it, just one incident where you went to that island and you messed with an underage girl, and you're guilty of just one time, no matter how bad, God can forgive you. The country's not. They're going to want to hold you accountable. You need to be held accountable. And how would Brian? How would I run on something and then turn around and I'm guilty of it?
Yeah, and they keep saying that Trump, if he was guilty of something, the Democrats would have brought that out before.
We've already proved that point. If they're guilty too, it's when you got two enemies that are share. Sometimes enemies can share common ground.
Yep.
And that keeps them from fighting, right? So that's what I'm getting at. It's not about Democrat or Republic. It's about people. There's people on both sides that are in on this, and neither side wants it to come out. So they're not going to push it.
And you know what they'll end up doing?
What?
Is they'll probably come to terms and say, hey, look, there's some bad shit in here, and we don't really think that you can handle this. I'm talking about the American people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I'm not going to take, because they want to treat us with gloves. Like they got put gloves on to fucking handle us and shit. It's like, motherfuckers, do y'all realize what y'all put us through daily?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just fucking give us the goddamn information and quit
Pull the
sugarcoating.
Band-Aid off. Yeah.
Yeah. If you would just fucking give it to us, all this shit would go away. Now, some of you motherfuckers might go to prison.
Yeah.
But this shit would go away and people would feel a lot better. You would feel better than what the fuck they feel right now. And we'd feel like we could trust you a little bit. But the way this shit going right now, we can't trust none of them motherfuckers.
Right.
And last week I played this liberal loon, and he is a loon. But I wanted to play him this week because he is talking about the Epstein files. And I can't say I disagree with everything he says. All right, check him out.
Donald Trump is not president despite the Epstein files. Donald Trump is president because of the Epstein files. The only reason that this is still going on is because most of us simply cannot believe that the worst things a human can do aren't in the past. We have been lulled into this belief that either because we're Americans or more because we live in a modern time at the end of the historical timeline, that all the really truly bad, evil stuff is in the history books. Sure, the history books were just 50 or 70 years ago or a couple hundred years ago as far as slaveries and genocides here, and of course genocides in Germany and onward since then. But no, we wouldn't be that bad here. We aren't. It is this simple and always have been. Rich, powerful, empty men only feel something when they feel dominance over another. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. We have a group of men who found a place where they could do whatever they wanted to young children, and that made them feel more powerful, and then they needed to protect themselves from both being caught and protect their power. So Zuckerberg and Musk and Howard Lutnick and Trump, who knows who else, with Supreme Court justices, rich people, etc. The list is big, but not that big. Dozens, 100 men who did heinous things are now in control of our country. They're tanking our dollar, ballooning our debts, sponsoring 2 genocides, blowing up an alliance that protects us, all because they liked to rape children. And the only reason that it isn't all ending today, because we're all in the streets, is because people simply don't believe it. Oh, I mean, they can see it. They just can't believe it's possible. It can't be possible that these people were that bad and that they didn't get caught and that they have power. I would suggest to you the opposite. They have power because they are that bad and were that worried about getting caught. Yes. The United States presidency became a prize to use as protection for a criminal racket. If you think that's absurd or crazy, open a history book. Bad men everywhere taking charge of all sorts of countries and nation states and groups and doing awful things. The only reason we might think it couldn't be here is because we are naive or arrogant enough to think that this set of human beings is so different than all the others that came before. We're not.
So what you think?
Here's where I got a problem with that dude. I never heard Obama's come out of his mouth, Bill Clinton. Now, he said Zuckerberg, and I believe Zuckerberg is votes Democratic. He might. It might not. I don't know. But like Bill Gates, why are we not naming these other people on the other side? And then I can get on board with him because he's still trying to keep it to the one side almost. It's like, it's a multi-sided thing.
I'll give you that, but the majority of what he said in my mind is right. It's true. So I don't even get hung up on what he said. You know, who he called out. I just don't.
I'm finite. I listen to the whole. I'm catching that stuff.
Well, no, I catch it too. I don't care. Should I say? I'm more in tune to, I already understood he was a liberal. You see what I'm getting at? So I expected that. But what he said, I'm expecting him to be a liberal loon. I'm expecting him to be kind of like that nurse.
Yeah.
But what he's saying, I could say the exact same thing and just put Bill Gates,
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, all them. I could put all them in there, and it would sound right to you. Is what I'm getting at. That makes sense.
But I want to tell you that I wouldn't say that's right because I'm telling you it's both sides. So
No,
if you're not going to include both sides, then it's not right to me.
So if
The
I read
message-
that to you, no, if I read that to you and all I said was, Bill Clinton, and Bill Gates. And as soon as I got off there, you say, well, you got to say Trump. You got to say just,
You got to include the, yes, I promise
I don't think you would have been, I'm not saying that you would, you're proving sides, but I don't know if you'd have been that emotional into it, attacking someone else from the right. I don't know.
Include them all.
I could be wrong.
Include them all. We've
Okay,
already
I agree with
discussed.
that.
I'm 100% on board that this is both sides. This has nothing to do with the donkey or the elephant. It's powerful, rich people, no matter what their affiliate is, political, doing nasty shit. That's what it is.
Well, see, I
we all,
agree with that. And
Brian, we already said. A bunch of our podcasts have already worked out the fact that it's a mirage. It's a magic trick in the government. It's like the wrestling, the WWE or the WCW. You think these two dudes don't like each other? You got the villain and you got the good guy. When they go back in the locker room, they're best friends.
Trump was just saying yesterday or the day before, or it might have been today. It was this week that when Hillary and them were talking about coming in, that he basically you just need to leave the Clintons alone. I like Bill. You don't need really.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I'm not gonna. They all cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They
all holding hands.
Does this prove my Fast and Furious theory? So I mean, they think they can just tell us anything and we're gonna fucking believe it, right?
Yep, and it'll go away. If they tell us there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
Yeah, just move along.
You just move along.
And what is scary is most people will not question this shit because there's no way people think that the people they support, just like this man said, could be anything like this. Like they believe that there's no way that whoever they support could be a fucking pedophile. There's no way that can happen.
It's almost like Eddie Murphy, Raw or Delirious. I can't remember which one, but he was talking about a black dude banging his wife. Come home and caught him sleeping with, and he goes, "Wasn't me." What?
Yeah, wasn't me.
I know it wasn't me. And he just
Wasn't
kept
me.
saying. And finally, she said, "Oh, well, maybe it wasn't you."
Yep,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
And you just keep saying it and don't back down from it. And finally, people are just like, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, but
Okay,
we
my
still
bad.
and we still got people that thinking like that. I mean,
That's
and these people-
narcissistic. That's
do they really think
narcissism.
they know that these people that they support, though? Like I was saying earlier, I mean, they think that they know this elite person, and it is no way possible they're doing anything wrong. And I tried to show that at the very beginning of you don't know these people. These people
No.
don't know you. So you have more in common with the people in your community than you do with these people.
Yes.
And yet, I bet if you search for a pedophile, on whatever those pedophile search things you can do on the app, I bet you're going to find somebody within your local area that is a pedophile that you didn't suspect.
Right.
And you're going to be like, well, goddamn, I didn't know that was there. But yet you don't believe that this fucking rich person could be doing this sick shit.
Yep.
I mean,
Because-
how can you be so convinced that they're not
What-
sick?
Why do people always put success with morals? People that
I
are
don't know.
successful have high morals. Like they have to be, Brian. They in order for God to bless people with that kind of money and that success, they have to be doing good things. That's not.
It makes
that's
sense
not
that
true.
way.
It does. You think it goes together? It's not. It's the opposite. I'm just being honest. I guarantee if you got a lot of money, you got some skeletons in your closet. Guarantee it.
Well, could it also be this, that these people been getting away with that shit for so long that they don't even think it's a fucking crime anymore?
No, they live in this weird mindset of this. And it's to the point now they didn't have to worry about this stuff getting out because there wasn't internet, there wasn't social media. They didn't have to worry about it. It's like the cable companies, Brian, their business model was so skewed because nobody competed with them, right? Until Dish came along, and that's why they all run the same. They all run the same, no matter what their name is. They all have the same business model pretty well. And they were like AT&T. They were a monopoly. And even though the government busted them up into Pacific Bell and Bell South and Northern, they were all the same dang company. You know what?
Yeah, they were still Bell.
I'm going to fess something up. My wife ran up a hell of a phone bill in California because she was so homesick. I'm talking $1,400. Our phone got shut off because we couldn't pay it. I mean, $1,400 back in that time was like ludicrous amount of money.
Oh yeah, that's more than a month pay.
That was Pacific Bell. Dude, that was probably 2 months pay. That was Pacific Bell. We get back home, we're on Bell South. I'm like, okay, they're not supposed to be the same company. I call to get service hooked up. No, we're showing here that you owe a back bill in California. I said, that's another company. Well, even though they got a different name, we still talk. They didn't bust up, dude. They weren't different companies. They were the same damn company, just different names. Because the government said, hey, we need you guys to make it look like y'all broke up, and because that's a monopoly. And now, guess what? After that, AT&T bought them all out. It's like all of a sudden, well, the cat's out of the bag. Might as well just go back to let monopolies run stuff. And that's how the government is, dude. They don't care. These rich people, they don't care anymore. We got enough power and money because you done put us there. And guess what? You can't take over. Come get us. Come get us. They're telling us, come get us. Come get us. You won't do it.
What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you done put me up here? You done messed up. You're just drop it. Leave it alone. We're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they've been getting away with this shit since the beginning of time. And now it's time for the people to try to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, because all they want to keep telling us is there's nothing to see on every major topic. You know, the guy that shot fucking Trump in the ear, lone shooter, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Fucking the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, lone shooter, nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Epstein files. There's
nothing to see here.
Nobody done anything bad. There's nothing to see here.
Yeah, the MLK files, the JFK files, all that stuff, dude. They didn't release all this stuff.
There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
I did hear that there's supposedly over 6 million documents, and so far they released over 3 million. So there's still a lot of fucking documents, that wasn't released.
Mm-hmm. 6 million on the Epstein?
Yeah, 6 million.
I mean, who's
so they probably got a little more.
Who typed that?
Well, I mean, we're talking years, and documents one document could be a picture, one document could be a CD.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if you remember whenever they raided Epstein's house, and they talked about when the FBI went in, there was this room or something, and they had all these binders and CDs and all this shit in there, and they took pictures of it, but the search warrant didn't include that stuff, so they just left it there. All this fucking evidence, right? Mm-hmm. And then they had the Epstein estate ship it to him. So that's not shady as fuck, huh?
I guarantee they carefully packed up everything, and everything that was there made it back to the FBI.
I'm sure it all made it back to the FBI.
Come on, man. Whatever. If you're going to go raid an island like that, you would have all your ducks in a row if you were there to get everything.
Yeah, and well, this wasn't an island. I think it was his home, but still, what they're saying, what they found, that was just all like smut or whatever you call it, child pornography. You can't look at that. No, if you got child pornography in there, go arrest the motherfuckers that's in the video with the child pornography. Tell us who you arrested from that at least.
Yeah.
You don't have to show the fucking victim. Show me some arrests from that. Let's be logical about this dumb shit.
Dude, Jeez. People out there listening, you see how stupid they think you are and we are and I am. It upsets me, man. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I mean, I don't keep up with a lot of this stuff, but damn, you're telling me right off the rip here, and it's embarrassing, man. It is. I'm not embarrassed of America. I'm embarrassed of our leaders. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've always said that. I love this country. I hate our government.
Yeah. Yep.
Now there's a fuck ton of videos out there related to the Epstein files, and it's
And that's
really
a lot
hard
of weight,
to say.
guys.
Yeah,
An F ton is a lot of weight. I don't think there's an
yeah.
actual.
I'm sorry.
You didn't
Yeah,
a
a fuck
measurement
ton.
on that.
Yeah, it's a fuck metric ton. Well, it's really hard to say what's real and what's AI. I mean, at this point, it really is. But I really think it's time we start putting some weight into the crazy shit, into the crazy stories, because this stuff is getting so far out there, and people are gonna be like, "Yeah, that can't be right." But I don't know. I think these people done some really fucked up shit. And I can't say this next video is completely true. I've seen snippets of this in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but based off of everything we're seeing and what we're finding out, I believe that if it's not 100% true, there is some truth to this shit. So check this out. I called this video, "We Can't Ignore All the Crazy Shit."
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
After saying those words in 2009, this woman, Gabriela Rico Jimenez, disappears. From that day on, no sign of life ever again. In 2022, another name resurfaces. Nikolai Mushegian posts a tweet claiming that pedophile elites run a sex trafficking network, and he writes clearly, "They will torture me to death." No one takes him seriously. Yet just 4 hours later, he's found dead, drowned on a beach after revealing what he presented as major information. For a long time, these stories stay ignored, until 2026. That year, emails tied to the Epstein files are made public, among them an exchange from 2019 between the FBI and a victim. And in black and white, you can read the FBI's response attributed to a man. "Thanks, Em. I didn't realize Bush raped him too." In the same exchange, the witness describes what he claims to have seen on a yacht linked to Jeffrey Epstein. He talks about ritual acts, extreme violence, abuse on vulnerable people, including living children. He also claims to have been raped by former President George Bush Sr. These descriptions match point for point what Gabriela Rico Jimenez was trying to say in 2009, right before she disappeared. Another email attributed to Jeffrey Epstein, dated July 16, 2009, resurfaces. It contains this strange phrase: "There are millions of baby, very little good vegetable cream cheese." The reply: "Lol, I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level." No context, no explanation. Just those words sent exactly 15 days before Gabriela completely disappears. Coincidence? Or something else? Tell me what you think in the comments.
A little fucked up, huh?
Yeah, that's where I was talking about the baby stuff and all that.
Yeah. I don't, man. I also heard Ian Carroll was on with Tucker, and they were talking, and I was really curious about that. They were talking about Pizzagate back again, and how many times pizza was mentioned in the Epstein file dump, and it was like Ian Carroll was saying, that is, when's the last time you knew two grown ass men sitting there emailing each other about pizza parties and grape soda? People want to say that this pizza shit don't have any
Code
truth
word.
to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's used in a lot of shit that don't make sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense at all on a lot of the stuff they were talking about. And he read some of the excerpts, and whenever you read them, it's like, yeah, that context pizza don't make sense at all.
Right.
It's pretty fucked up, man. These cats, man, they got to do something. And then that lady that was, yelling at the beginning, in case you were listening, she was yelling about them eating somebody else eating people and shit, and killing them and eating them, and she was losing her mind.
I mean, wouldn't you have
You
you seen that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting. I mean, that was pure hell for that person. You can see it in their face,
Yeah. I don't think
and you're
that
not
was being
supposed to
made up.
believe that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna make you laugh before we get off of Epstein. I'm gonna show you this. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about MAGA.
MAGA is, I think people are realizing it was all a lie. It was a big lie for the people. What MAGA is really serving is, in this administration, who they're serving is their big donors, the big donors that donated all the money and continue to donate to the president's PACs and donate to the 250th anniversary, or donating to the big ballroom. And if they're donating to all these things, those are the people that get the special favors, they get the government contracts, they get the pardons, or somebody they love, or one of their friends gets a pardon. And it's the foreign countries that are running the show here. It's the major big corporations and what is best for the world. That's really what MAGA is. That's the results. That's what we're seeing after one full year of MAGA. It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo meme where, they pull the mask off the bad guy. Well, the mask is being pulled off, and Make America Great Again isn't really about America or the American people. It's not about the American people.
Okay. What you think about that one?
Didn't we talk about PACs and the super PACs and all that stuff last show or the show before? And it's, once again, it's part of government. That's in both sides of the government, including her. She left with a lot more money than she went in with, and a lot more money than what you make a year. So, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know where to take that. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm once again not trying to take up for Trump or whatever, but when has it not been like that? When has the big donors not had their ways in our government?
This is the problem. The MAGA movement is not about big donors. It's not about. It's supposed to be a grassroots movement. It's the movement of the people. It's not big donors. It's not.
Yes.
It's not Israel. It's not Ukraine. It's not all these places. It's the United States of America and its people.
Right.
And what she took and all, I don't know. But when I look at, let's just keep it to the Epstein files. We see all these trillions of dollars that we keep getting being told is going to be coming into this country, for all these businesses that he's getting to come back because of tariffs. Okay, sounds great, but what are they getting? What is he giving them to give them here?
Right.
All right. I don't know, but I do know that these Arabs give him a fucking plane, and then they spend $500 million in his Bitcoin, and I like Trump, I really do, but that Trump Bitcoin shit pissed me the fuck off. I mean, you are the president of the United States. I don't give a fuck if it's your kids and all this shit. You cannot tell me that you don't know what your kids are doing with that Bitcoin. You can't tell me that if a fucking Arab company or whatever it is, Middle Eastern company, did $500 million in Bitcoin with your Bitcoin, and you didn't know. And you can't make me believe you didn't know. And
Right.
if you didn't know, I would be even more, concerned because why is this fucking Middle Eastern country giving so much money to your Bitcoin?
Right.
And you don't know about it. So
Mhm.
it puts you in a compromised position, and I don't trust it. And this makes me not trust it even more. And then it gets in my mind, like, who the fuck is lying, or is everybody lying? What do you believe anymore? That's the problem I have. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, no, it's just a lack of trust, Brian. It's when you don't.
It is.
Do you not tell your guys at work this? Do you not tell your kids? Do you not tell family? If you lie to me, then we have no trust. And if we have no trust, we have no relationship.
And he was put into office because when's the last
we were
time
tired
you
of the
thought,
same shit going on. That's the reason why we voted him in, to get something different in there. Somebody that we said couldn't be bought out, to come in and do the right thing and start cleaning up some of the crap we knew was going on. We knew stuff was going on. You didn't even have to watch the news to know crap was going. It's been going on for a long time. Expose it, clean it up, and maybe get people in there, Brian, that are for the people and not for special interests.
you know, it's almost like now I feel like whoever the power to be is says, hey, look, we'll let you deport people and we'll let you shut down the border, but we're going to stop shit. We're not giving you everything.
Yeah.
You know, man, he's done some good things. I'm not going to say he hasn't. And, you know, I'm not going to say he's, you know, as bad as any other president we had in the past. I'm not, but that's not, we hold him to a different light. And I get tired of people saying, well, you know, he's better than Biden or he's better than, shut up. Anyone could have been better than Biden. I don't want to hear that. That's not a fucking excuse. We
Kamala was better than Biden.
Yeah. We could have put a fucking coconut in office. It'd been better than Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, because he wasn't the one making the calls anyway.
Yeah. They said Obama was, but anyways.
Yeah, we wanted Trump because we were holding him to a higher standard.
Yep.
And I think that's what we deserve. We deserve a higher standard from our president. And we shouldn't keep looking back and saying, well, he's better. People, hold yourself up to a better standard. You know, and you'll start seeing life better, you know, because you'll want more out of life and you'll want more out of yourself and you're going to want more out of other people. You know, you fuck this status quo shit. I mean, we got to move off of that or we're never going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But so this right here, if this analogy doesn't hit the fucking Epstein files right on the head, I don't know what else does. And bravo to whoever the fuck made this shit, because this shit is funny as fuck. I call it the goat fucker.
Hypothetically, if someone was accused of having sex with goats by over 30 different people and regularly denied it, but also dropped very public hints about how much he liked to have sex with goats for decades, and ran a goat pageant to find the best looking goats, and was best friends with someone who got convicted of fucking goats and trafficking goats to friends all over the world who also liked to fuck goats. And his name was in the classified Goat Fucker Chronicles 5,000 times. And he wished other goat fuckers well in prison. What do you think the odds are that that person is also a goat fucker?
Oh, the stuff you find on TikTok, dude. It's crazy.
Well, how about that?
Like I said, I just get a bunch of cooking things, some other things that I follow, and then girls with daddy issues.
The goat fucker analogy though works pretty good though, don't it?
Yeah. It reminds me of the shoot, what was that? The goat on Adam Sandler's skit or whatever. The talking Billy goat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Here, I'm gonna let the F word fly. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, Billy, go out for a pass," and he throws a football and it hits him, and you hear that thump. He goes, "Fuck me in the goat ass."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hope my mom didn't hear that because she'll punch me in the face. But
that was a good CD, man.
Yeah,
love that CD.
Sorry, AJ, if I let you down and I wasn't as fired up as you needed me to be, but sorry. I re-listened to myself this week, and I was like, man, I was really ranting a lot. I probably need to tone that down a little bit. I mean, I'm going to be mean. I'm not, we're not holding to some kind of movie script or whatever. A lot of this stuff I just read right before we do it. I'm not going to lie. But I'm I'm always going to be me, but sometimes my rants might be because of stuff going on outside of this and a little cumulative pile up of frustration going on in my life. But other than that, I mean, I just get frustrated, Brian. That's all it is, man. I get
No,
frustrated
I
with
get
this
it.
stuff.
And you should. I mean, it's our money, it's our life, and we're getting fucked all the way around.
Yeah.
And if we don't come together, as a people, it's never going to get better. And honestly, I don't think it's going to get better in our lifetime. But I mean, this is how I really believe. We fucked this place up. We did.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
generation fucked this place up. And if I can just do something to make this shit better for our kids, that's what I want to do, because they have no idea how bad shit can get. Our kids, had a pretty good fucking life.
We covered up a lot of stuff. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We broke our back to give them stuff that we didn't have and spoiled them, and now they want and they see, and I just feel bad for them. I mean, you got a lot of young people in therapy and on pills, on medicine and all that stuff, and then we see some of this stuff where I truly believe it's a mental illness, Brian. I mean, dang.
I agree with you. The mental illness really is the square screen that everybody watches every fucking day, all day long.
Yeah.
That's the mental illness. If you can just take that out your hands, at least for, an hour, and just have a fucking conversation with somebody,
Yeah.
each day, and then the next week, try to do it a little bit more. Just make yourself have a fucking conversation with somebody.
And you don't have to yell and scream at people.
No, a conversation. Just talk.
Yes. Try to understand where somebody's coming from, but I say that too because there's some people, Brian, that I'm just not going to talk to. I'm sorry, if you're way out there in my mind, I'm probably not going to. That conversation is going to be surface, and we'll just agree to disagree, probably. But there's other people out there, like I said, me and you, me and some other people that I deal with, right? That we don't always see eye to eye on stuff, but at the end of the day, I can respect where you're coming from, right? I'm going to throw something at you and you're going to be like, damn, this dude don't forget shit, right? I've been accused of that a lot. A guy that used to work with me, I brought something up like that he said 5 years from then or whatever. And he goes, man, I can't tell you nothing, dude. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't forget nothing. When we pulled up to your house in Louisiana, when you and Christy were married, right? And we pulled up there and we drove my mother-in-law's Pontiac Grand Prix, and we got out and your truck was all nice and clean. I think you were washing it, or I think you washed it the next day or something like that.
I washed that truck like every fucking day.
Okay. And I was like, dude, isn't that your work truck? And you said, yeah. And I was like, dude, to me, if I seen that truck pristine clean, I'm going to think you don't do nothing. That it just sits at the shop all day and doesn't get out and do work. Because I always, in my mind, my van inside was cluttered and dirty and always had, because I worked. I took them drops down. I cleaned up stuff at houses and blah, blah, blah. And all the trash had to go in my truck or my van. So it was always nasty, or not nasty, but dirty and things like that. To me, when your clothes, when you come home and you're dirty as heck, that showed you work. When your truck pulls into your driveway and it's dirty, you got out and worked that day. But your stuff was immaculate. And I made that comment, and what'd you tell me? Do you remember what you told me?
No.
You don't remember what you told me? I do.
No, I don't.
When you pull up on a job site and you have to deal with the owner or whoever, first impression, what are they going to see? Because if I'd show up in a nasty, dirty truck, they're going to think that that's how I'm going to operate on their vessel. But when I show up and my stuff's clean and neat and organized, they're going to know that about me when they see it. I never seen that side of you before, Brian. I didn't relate that as a good attribute. I related it as that you just sat at the shop and didn't do shit. You were lazy. You were that boss that didn't go do nothing. You just went to an office, sat in there with your clean clothes and your clean truck.
I wish.
No, that's what I seen when you were doing that, right?
Yeah.
To me, washing a truck every day was a waste of time to me because it's just going to get dirty because that's how I roll. I get dirty. You put me in a white padded room and send the biggest team of OCD people in there to clean it. I will find one speck of, if there's a speck of dirt in there, it will get on me. I get dirty. That's just what I find dirt. I find dirt wherever I go and I get it on my clothes.
I worked on 2-cycle engines back then, and my hands stayed as black as my shirt is right now. I mean, stained like that all the time because I was always dirty. But when I left a boat, I took a shower before I left. I had fucking big seat covers that went over, and then I put a sheet over the seat covers that I would sit on, even though I was clean.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Your shit stayed clean. That truck was nice. I mean, it was immaculate.
Yeah, Dusty had worked with me at the time too. He was the same way. We didn't let nobody in our vehicles dirty.
Yeah.
Ever. You riding the back the fucking truck, you know?
Right. But you changed my perspective on that because you explained, no, it's that first, you only get one shot of making an impression on somebody. And that's the first
Making
one.
a first impression. Yep.
If I show up to a job site with a cluttered, dirty truck, that's what the owner, if he sees me, he's going to think how I'm going to work, that I'm going to be unorganized and nasty and dirty and I can't take care of nothing. But when my stuff is clean and immaculate and organized, that's what he sees and he knows what kind of job he's going to get from me.
Yep.
I was like, damn. Message.
See, look at that. I'm bringing some knowledge that I didn't even know I had.
Now you remember that conversation, don't you?
No, I remember. I said that before. So, yeah. I mean,
and you're like, man, this dude don't forget shit. Stuff sticks with me. Well, just feel good that you said something that stuck to me.
Well, yeah, there ain't much shit I say that sticks to anybody, so I guess I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, take
if
that
it
as
does, it's because I fucking insulted them.
Yeah, take that as a
W.
Yeah, I don't have to remind people what happened when somebody at Burger King got your hamburger wrong, what you did to them in the drive-thru. Yeah, we're not going to tell that story.
All right,
or the glass globe and the ceiling fan in California.
It was a good night.
Brian used to have a temper issue, but anyways.
Yeah, well, we enjoyed. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Like, share, follow, whatever, comment.
Yeah, comment, people. Yeah, we want to hear what you got to say. I mean, we really do. So there was some good ones on Charlie Kirk stuff, and then there was good ones on the Don Lemon. That was funny, so we appreciate that.
But that wasn't actually on the show. That was just on some shorts that were posted. So it wasn't actually on the show.
Yeah, feel free to comment. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us something we need to talk about. Maybe there's something we're not catching on the news. Like I said, I don't watch the news a lot, but Brian does some dig deeping. Just bring something up. Say, hey, why don't y'all talk about this? That's been bugging me. That's what we're here for, is just for people to be able to share information and ideas and things like that. And we want to hear what everybody has to say. So I promise I won't call nobody out.
All right, guys. This was Sense and Senseless. I'm Brian.
And I'm Jason.
He's Jason. Peace.
Peace.